So a chance now to bring in my co-commentator for the evening. Mark Phillips, good evening to you.
Good evening. How are you? All right?
Very good, thanks. Very good, thanks. How are you holding up?
Not bad. I'm pleased to see that the weather's not going to affect this game and the conditions look right. There's not a lot of wind. There's no frost on the pitch, so it should be a good, entertaining game of football, hopefully.
You say no frost on the pitch. It's looking pretty good out there, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's about 4 or 5 degrees. So I was worried, earlier this week, thinking it might frost over as the night wore on, but it looks okay. So it's not going to be a lottery. It's going to be a game of football, which is what we want.
Certainly is, and we'll leave the meteorology to the specialists from here on in. Let's have a look at what's actually going on tonight. And first of all, just thinking about this travelling Manchester City side, 3 times winners. They've won the under-18s Premier League a good few times as well. Not going to be an easy one tonight.
It definitely isn't. I mean, as I stated in the last game, neither team will be over enamoured with the draw, if I'm honest. I mean, it's a tough game for Man City. It's a tough game for West Ham United. It's a really, really difficult game. But, if you're going to win the competition, these are the sort of teams you've got to beat and go on. The draw was made today. Whoever wins this has got Reading in the next round. No disrespect to Reading, good side, but whoever wins this would look to go further in the tournament, if I'm honest. So tonight's a big game.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head there, given that City last season went out to Arsenal, who of course the Hammers beat in the final. Probably shows that one of these two teams tonight, whoever wins, they've got a good chance of going on lifting the trophy this season.
I would agree. I don't know about that because things happen in cup competitions, along the way. But I do agree with you. These are the two, definitely in the top 4 or 5 teams in the country. That both of these teams here tonight are in that top 4 or 5.
Yeah, hard to disagree with that. Well, let's just have another quick look at those teams for you. It'd be interesting to get your thoughts on this as well, Mark. As I say, 3 changes from the last round. It looks as though Medine has come out from wing back there. A back 3 again, it looks like. Yes,
I should envisage it being that. I mean, in the game you're referring to, the Southampton game, the captain was injured. Ryan Batcham was injured, so he would naturally, he's got his fitness back, so he would go back in the side. I imagine him to be playing right wing back, and the 3 centre halves. I think you might be wrong. You might be right. You might be wrong. I don't think Ollie Scholes is actually going to play left wing back. I was watching him train, and he was more playing central alongside Lou. That might be how we shape up, with maybe Emeka playing as left wing back, and the 2 central, as I say, being Lou and Ollie, are used to playing with each other week in, week out with the 21s. They don't play that much for the 18s now. They're up in the 21s team.
This is why we've got you here, Mark. There you go. And as you say, Ryan Batcham coming, looks as though right wing back. He's going to skipper the team today. And then that back 3, it looks like, of Golombekis, Briggs and Mayers, and Orford probably in a midfield 3 right in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it will be. I mean, Golombekis, as I say, is an under-16 playing up in the under-18s. He was excellent in the previous game. I'm really looking forward to seeing him again tonight.
Yeah, a rather imposing figure. Aridas Golombekis, the Lithuania under-16, only 16 years old, impressed in the last round. He's also had his debut this season, only turned 16 in November.
He did, and as I say, in the last Youth Cup game, he was probably don't say probably, Mark, he was our man of the match. He was excellent.
Brilliant. So another look quickly then at the Manchester City lineup as well. I mentioned it just there, Mark, but of course all eyes really looking at the number 10 for Manchester City this evening, a player we know quite well here.
Yeah, I mean, I've known Divine since he was a very young lad, and really is a creative footballer, really good on the ball, can make things happen. I hope really he comes back and has a similar game to the games that Declan Rice has had against us, as he's come back and played against us, which haven't been that great.
And is it a similar role as well to Declan Rice in terms of somewhere in the middle, box to box?
No, he's more of an attacking, more of a number 10. He gets in pockets and makes things happen, whereas Dec's more defensive minded. Divine's, quite creative. Not quite creative, he is creative.
Great stuff. Well, last few moments really before the players, we hope, will emerge. All eyes looking towards the tunnel. In the meantime, Mark, well, we can just look again in terms of FA Youth Cup. We're talking about potential winners of this one being the potential winners of the entire tournament. The pedigree from Manchester City is so high.
Without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, number 8, Jaden Heskey, is obviously Emil Heskey's son. Joel Indalo is definitely one to watch. He's really attack-minded. Let's not kid ourselves. They're a good side. They're a good attacking side. But we're a good side as well. So we just see how it pans out.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you can see there, just in front of the changing rooms, we've got an excitable fan there ready to greet the West Ham and Manchester City players, waiting for the high fives.
It's nice to see a young lad's enthusiasm. That's what it's all about. In fact, I wouldn't say it's a big crowd. There's a decent sized crowd here on a cold winter's January night, so that's good for the players as well.
Well, yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. It's a decent showing. I can't imagine there'd be too many Manchester City fans who've made the trip down, although I am hearing that the setup is somewhere near 40 in terms of the staff that have been brought down today.
I can well believe it. I've seen a few of their scouts who are like London based, so they have got a big setup that costs a lot of money to be there. So they've obviously come to enjoy their youth team's performance.
And would that be in the West Ham players' minds as well, in terms of not only if they win tonight, they'll feel as though they've got a good chance of progressing nicely in the FA Youth Cup, but also getting one over one of the so-called bigger teams?
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't know how much people were aware. We won the South League last year as well as winning the Youth Cup. Manchester City won the North League and we was drawn to play away. Shock we was drawn to play away, I might add. But we played away at the Etihad. We was winning 1-0 until the 78th minute. They equalised and unfortunately for us went on to win 2-1. But it was a really, really good advert for under-18s football. Really good game.
And also the way they divide up the under-18 Premier League into the North and South divisions, it still means that it was great for the young Hammers because they won the South title.
Yeah, we won it quite early, really. We won it with 4 or 5 games to spare. And the Manchester City coach, Ben Wilkinson, said that was the toughest game they had all year playing against us, which is nice to hear because that's the way we saw it. Could have gone either way, and that's the way I see tonight going as well. It's going to be a hard game for both teams.
Certainly is. Finally poised, and we are almost ready now for kick-off as we see the players make their way onto the pitch. Well, the warmer temperatures of spring may still seem a fair way off with this cold snap biting, but the reigning FA Youth Cup champions will have hugely fond memories of last April as they shrugged aside Arsenal 5-1 in the final at the Emirates for their maiden FA Youth Cup title. If they're to replicate that this season, then they will need to get past the ilk of opponent like tonight's powerhouse Manchester City. There have already been echoes of the semi-final last year where the Hammers dispatched Southampton 6-1 at the London Stadium. A little bit tighter in the last round and a few rounds earlier, but they did manage to overcome Saints again in the last round towards the end of last year. And so last few formalities then ahead of kickoff. Our officials for you tonight: referee Shelby Elson, assisted by Derek Lang and Bogdan Kimmich, and the fourth official, Teddy Osborne. We are in some form of a dugout, but not the dugout. As you can see there on your screen, we're actually pretty much at the bottom of your screen, just to near where the referee Shelby Elson is heading over to us now. Dugouts for both sides opposite us tonight in that small stand on the far side as the Hammers just congregate for a pre-match chat. Manchester City duly oblige as well, and so now a chance for both captains Ryan Battram and Lakil Samuel to come into the middle and just get their instructions. They will of course have had some form of a briefing from Shelby before this chat in the centre circle. And just as a reminder as well, this evening, if there is no winner after 90 minutes, if we are level, then we will have extra time and then the penalties, if still to be decided after the 120 minutes and we're still level, we will go on to those penalties, which always adds a bit of drama and excitement for the fans as well. Mark, you kind of frown as you say that as well. You're not up for the penalties tonight.
No, I'm just laughing because the last game I actually did predict it was going to go to penalties in the first minute, and it did. So I'm not going to predict anything tonight.
Well, two very high quality teams. So you never know. We will wait and see how it all pans out, and it will be the visitors to get us going in this first half. Be interesting to see how both teams approach the early stages here at the Rush Green Stadium. FA Youth Cup round 4 for you this Friday night. Play back in towards the Manchester City keeper True Grant. First few touches of the ball, immediately looking out wide left to this near side for Ndala, one of the 3 changes for Manchester City this evening, after their 2-0 victory away at Watford end of last year. There he is again, Joel Ndala, just looking to thread it back into Mufuni. Good chance there for Ajala as well, just to apply some pressure. And that will be key tonight as well, Mark. They just won't want to give Manchester City too long on the ball to settle into this one.
If you give them too long on the ball in wrong areas, don't mind them having it back here, playing across the back 4, that's fine. But if you give it too long, if you give them too long in the middle of the park, they'll hurt you, without a shadow of a doubt. They're keeping the pitch very wide, Man City, I've noticed. If you notice, the 11 are really keeping some width. They're trying to make the pitch as big as they can.
Yeah, trying to go through the options of Obov-Wadua on that far side, Manchester City's right, and Ndala on this near side, the left, and just a bit of time on the ball at the back there just to knock it across from Carrington as well, all the way over to Simpson Pusi, the full-backs for Manchester City tonight. Looks as though that stoppage is for a flat ball. Never a good one.
Disgraceful behaviour from Tony Falco, the kit man. He should have pumped the balls up before. Disgraceful.
Sure, it could happen to absolutely anyone. Anyway, that one looks and sounds okay, so it will be picked up.
I have to say that he's probably my best mate, so I'm going to tell him he's made a mistake.
You're allowed to then. Back underway now though, and again it's Ndala getting involved. Up against his opposite number, Sawunmi, one of the 3 changes for West Ham tonight. Making a nuisance of himself as well, Sawunmi, good work. Also too helped out by the skipper, Batram. Good pressing there though, Mark.
Good pressing. We spoke about Divine changing clubs. I don't know if you're aware, number 10 for us, Dan Rigg, we got from Manchester City 2 years ago. So he's brought up as a Man City player. So there's 2 players out there who've changed clubs.
That's right, both the number 10s as well tonight.
Yep.
Rigg and Mukasa for Manchester City. True Grant just looks again for his options, and we see this all the time, even in the academy, both centre-backs splitting. And it doesn't always work out like that, but they will persist with that. Throw-in taken quickly though, and that's the smart turn from Sawunmi. Is that a foul by Mufuni? Play goes on, just trying to let the game flow early on the referee, which is probably for the benefit of the overall night. Still a chance to keep the visitors penned in here. Again, it's Sawunmi, he'll just pick it up, collects that neatly enough, and then some appeals for a free kick. Back there helping out is Mukasa. Now they look to drive centrally. That's a decent run. Nice drop of the shoulders there, and City can break forward. Just to his left, Mukasa. Still going here though. Simpson Pusi, really good run. Now then, Ndala, first chance for him to make his way into the area. Lays it back, hung up towards the back post. First real foray forward for the visitors, and all the outfield players now in the West Ham half. They move it over now for a moment to the right wing. Right inside channel now. Patient play, but a bit further up the pitch from Manchester City. It's meant that they've gained a few yards. Again, almost all those outfield players in the Hammers half. Played across now into Mufuni. Gets it back from Mukasa. You can hear the cry there from Finn Herrick in the West Ham goal mark of just push up, don't want to allow City forwards unnecessarily.
I think that's what, I mean, when we have pushed up and we squeezed on them in their third of the pitch, we've had a little bit of joy. The minute you start giving them time, they look to hurt you.
First challenge there for Adieli. Another of those 3 changes. In a left wing back, it looks like, for the evening. Does well just to get his body in the way there.
Yeah, he's a good prospect, Emeka. He's good. He's got loads of pace, and it's nice to see Kevin Lewis. You know, they're brave enough to play the younger members of the squad, really.
Well, this is the chance to do it, of course. Under 18 members in the FA Youth Cup. Fortunately for the Hammers in midweek, out of the EFL Trophy, which includes under 21 players as well. As Manchester City looked to make the most of this move in from the right, cleared away in the right place and the right time there was Briggs to put it behind for the first corner of the evening.
This is when we really have got to concentrate. They'll have something up their sleeve, Manchester City, knowing them as a club. They'll have something. They won't just, I doubt if they just sling it in the box. They might have some sort of something they've worked on the training pitch.
A really intricate move there, one touch stuff, decisive passing, and it's led to this corner kick. And a movement in the area, swung in, delivery is good. Flicked away as far as the edge of the area. Push back though, again, good pressing and intensity from the Hammers off the ball. There goes Sawunmi again, and all of a sudden they've had to go all the way back into True Grant in the Man City goal. Now Grant can just slow it down, but that was a good press from their own box this time there, Mark, just to get out after the set piece.
Yeah, I think that's our key. When we press and make the pitch quite small, they'll be very reluctant to play balls over the top. They want to play through your City. So if we squeeze on the ball, give them not a lot of space to play in.
Again, studs on the ball there from one of the Manchester City centre halves, and it's sent round the corner. Giving chase over there was Golombakis, and does not look like a 16-year-old, the Lithuanian. Now trying to switch defence into attack. Good work over on that far side from Ajala. They moved it out to Ajala neatly. Whether he kept it in play on that far side. The hand goes up immediately from Simpson Pusi. Not too many complaints, it has to be said, from Ajala. Just gets on with it. As you mentioned earlier, Mark, they're splitting both wingers onto both touchlines as much as they can.
They're making the pitch as big as they can. So it's obviously a tactic. It's obviously they've got Divine in their makeup who knows us very well. So he's obviously done a little bit of tactical work with them, telling us how we play.
Grant thinking about sending one long for a moment, and then does, again looking for the runs in the channel, but Mukasa, as he tends to do, just popping up in that number 10 role in the pocket of space. Golombekis all the way back in now to Herrick. Pursued in there by Matty Warhurst. Alongside of Heskey, I say alongside of, but he was up front last time out against Watford. Looks as though Heskey playing a slightly deeper role this evening. This could be a good chance for West Ham to break on this near side. Just holding it up there is Battram into Golombekis. And this will be crucial now, just to get their foot on the ball, Mark.
Yeah, make some passes, just change different angles around, just make you comfortable. I mean, we've been quite comfortable. City haven't really played through us.
Yeah, no real big saves for Herrick to make just yet. Again, they recycle the ball out to this near side, and then the first time clearance, I think it was from Orford there forward. Getting involved again is Ajala. Now Sawunmi gives chase. Dare I say, it's a little bit like a game of chess so far, with the way that True Grant can just pick up the ball on the edge of the D now. We've seen this on a number of occasions already, less than 10 minutes played.
Yeah, I think Kev's obviously spoke to our side about not losing our shape. We're staying in shape, and Man City are trying to draw us out a little bit, but we're staying in shapes. There's no real ball for them to play for us.
It does look as though the discipline so far off the ball from Kevin Keane's side has been pretty good. Back three of Galombekis, Briggs and Mayers. And there's a bit of a dangerous move forward from a Hammer's point of view. Infield it goes. They need to deal with this, and they did. Good block coming in there. They've driven down the centre on a couple of occasions. Again, it comes back to splitting those wingers on either wing and then making the gaps in the middle. But this is a surging run forward here from the captain Batram, looking for Ajala. Again, Grant is up to the test. And now the game, approaching 10 minutes, just starting to stretch ever so slightly.
Yeah, exactly. They sort of hit us on the count and we hit them. It was funny. Ryan was up against Divine there.
Funny into Ndala. Faced up by Golombekis. Still going here, Ndala. Again, good shape off the ball as it's played out to that right-hand side for the Citizens. And it comes now for the captain, Samuel. But again, the press is good, staying in formation, moving forward as a unit once more, West Ham. It's played forward there by Jacob Wright. Good harrying in there again from Jaden Heskey, as you said at the beginning there, Mark, son of Emil.
Yes, he is. A totally different style of play to Emil, but he is his son.
Well, certainly based on what we've seen tonight, because he's in that deeper midfield role. Looks as though Warhurst is certainly continuing in his more attacking role, and Heskey alongside of Mukasa a little bit deeper, the number 8 and the number 10.
Yeah, Heskey's more like a link player who gets it and puts people. He doesn't play off the shoulder of people. He's more like a link forward. I'm not saying he can't go and score, which he can obviously, but he's more a link player. It's funny because it's the Youth Cup, and these players have obviously played in big games, but even I can see a little bit of nerves in both sides, funny enough.
Yeah, just don't want to overcommit.
Yeah.
As it's played, and that kind of is good evidence of it there, again, going long. They're waiting for the right moments, but equally they just don't want to overcommit, it seems.
Yeah, and West Ham have done well so far holding their shape. We have. If you don't hold your shape against City, you're going to get undone.
Good chance to break over on that far side. Adiele it was, just brought down short of halfway. Done well so far in these opening few moments as Adiele, as we see that block coming in again. It was an important one. And then the drive forward from Batram, who's also going to win it here in the area. He did for a moment. Important clearance out for the throw-in, which Batram will collect quickly. Trying to keep City under pressure here. Gets it back, the captain. Oh, and is that a late challenge there?
Yes, it was.
And Rigger it was, who just felt that one a bit late. Not anything wrong with it according to the referee. But again, you have to give the benefit of the doubt to the officials, trying to let the game flow. They'll want to have a result as much as the other players within 90 minutes, you'd imagine.
Yeah, this is a dangerous situation we're looking at that right now.
Great chance for City to break here. Again, it's down the middle. Taking over there, Zundalo, who's just moved centrally and moving out to this near side. Mukasa looping it up towards the back post. He doesn't get that one right, but we can see again how City are interchangeable with Mukasa moving out to the left there.
Yeah, I think Divine deep down inside is obviously a West Ham fan, so he doesn't really want to hurt us tonight. But you can see there, when they sprung on us there, they had good numbers. That's where we have to guard against.
Yep, they're persisting with the bursts forward through the middle. Most of the time on this near side it's Ndala, and over on the far side above Waduo. And then peel out so that in the middle the gaps start to open up. Golombekis up to Sawunmi. Decent control and then immediately looking to offload. Picks it up once more here. Helped out by Batram. Well, it looks as though Ajala may just have been offside there. Had a good view of that one from where we were, Mark.
Yeah, we did. I'm especially pleased with Ryan Batram's start to the game, because he's come back from sort of 5 or 6 weeks out with a hamstring injury. He looks to have no effects at the moment. He looks fine.
Yeah, looking pretty sprightly, bouncing on his feet there as it was just played back to True Grant. And yeah, a number of occasions already he's moved up and down this near side West Ham's right. But now it's Manchester City making the moves down their right. Slightly mishit effort from Herrick, but it's well taken in over on that far side, and then a real neat turn as well by Ollie Scholes. Immediately sends the ball forward, looking for Rigger. Again, a bit too much on it, but it's good intent from West Ham just to try and get the ball and move it forward quickly and directly.
Without a doubt. It was just the execution of the pass, but the idea of it I thought was good. I thought it was good from Ollie.
So still we are here at this stalemate. Approaching quarter of an hour played. If you're just joining us, West Ham United 0, Manchester City 0 in the FA Youth Cup 4th round. And if you are just joining us, you haven't missed too much. No real shots in anger. There was a decent block on the edge of the area for West Ham to deal with. But other than that, both teams just trying to work each other out. And we've seen a lot of this early doors, Mark, as well, with studs on the ball. As
I said earlier, this isn't going to hurt us too much. It's when they break the lines and they're playing, 30 yards up the pitch. We've pressed well. We've regained possession. Now it's our turn to go and make it happen.
Yeah, did well to overturn possession there, the Hammers, and they move it back in. Again, just taking their time. Nothing too silly, as you kind of alluded to there. They just don't want to be hurt in those kind of areas. It could have been a bit worse there as Heskey was pressing in, but they still do enough and they get the decision. So there's always going to be that kind of battle there midway through their own half for West Ham, where they're going to have to take a chance to try and open up the gaps.
Yeah, you have to take risks to go forward. I mean, I think we've been quite comfortable so far, quite confident in the boys in their possession of the ball, and I'm quite happy with the start, if I'm honest.
So no goals, but plenty of intent from both sides, just trying to slow the game down at times, but then equally pick their moments to move forward. As straight down that far side, Adiele again getting involved in a good way as well. He's won the throw-in on that far side. Just looking for the options inside of him. Ajala it is that obliges. Also over there hanging around was Rigger. Made some decent runs in the channels, but they could be caught out at the back here. Real break on. This is Ndala again, who's moved infield for the last few moments. Still going, able to hold it up on that right edge of the area. Lays it back. Again, more patient play from City. Don't want to rush the delivery into the box. They're happy to come all the way back to halfway. This is Mufuni. Back in now to the captain for Manchester City, who can just stroll towards halfway with this one. Giving chase up there is Sawunmi. And Adiele called in to show, is that offside? Play goes on for the moment, and then the flag goes up. Just offside, perhaps.
Fantastic decision. Never in doubt with me.
We've got an excellent view of that from down here.
It's only 70 yards away from me, but I knew it was offside.
Well, we'll get a better view of it from here. Not too much in it initially, but then you see the number 7 for Manchester City, Obovoduo, maybe just. Of course, we have no VAR here at Rush Green. Commanding header in there from Simpson Pusi. Advantage play by the referee and letting fly towards goal, and Grant spills it. It was Orford who fancied that one, and well, may as well. The City defenders, for the first time we've seen in a while, just backing off, and Orford, well, he thought, why not there, Mark?
Yeah, and then Lou's got a great range of passing, and he has got a good long distance shot. He didn't really catch it that cleanly, actually. I've seen him hit the ball up, but it was definitely worth it from there. Definitely worth it.
Yep, and it did just bounce in front of Grant, which made it a bit trickier, so he just made sure to get everything behind it. They'll have another go, perhaps, here to test True Grant. Orford again getting involved. Can't quite find a teammate just outside the D, so West Ham will look to break quickly centrally. This is Heskey now. Again, if you are just joining us, Jaden Heskey, son of Emil, in the centre of midfield alongside ex-Hammer Divine Mukasa. Laid in towards Jacob Wright. Warhurst getting stuck in there. A real battle right on the centre spot there. Eventually, West Ham find a way out to Golombekis. Now again, Battram gives one for Ajala to chase. Couple of white shirts around him. Just snuffed out there, Ajala, but need not give up on that. Good work from the skipper, Samuel. Finds some space over out on that far side for the visitors. Played in towards Warhurst, but it's far too close in the end to Josh Briggs. Sensible work to go back in to Finn Herrick. Battram picks that one up after the give and go, drifting infield looking for the options. To play it out, Orford had made the run on this near side, but it was former City player Rigger just decided to hang on to it, and maybe sensibly so, allow some of his teammates to push up on either flank. This is Orford again. Just waiting for the right opening. Squares it across now to Briggs. More good possession for the hosts. Skulls. Now a chance for West Ham to try and put their foot on the ball. Make sure they do nothing silly, Mark.
Good little passage of play, actually. We've kept the ball there, probably the longest period we've kept it tonight. Passed it well. We had a couple of early passes and we had people in little pockets of space where maybe could have got it to them a bit earlier, but it's a good little spell for us, this.
Yeah, a chance to pour forward over on that far side. In front of the only stand here at Rush Green, and West Ham player just trying to get the better of his man. It's Sawunmi again. Much like some of the Man City players, he's occupied both flanks early on here, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have done quite well. We haven't really created anything near a chance, but we've definitely got a foothold in the game at the moment.
Yeah, Sawunmi and Ajala doing the hard yards early doors, trying to force the error, and they have forced a corner here, which Orford is over. Make that the first West Ham corner of the evening as well. Looking for the decent delivery towards the back post, nodded away. As far away as Rigger. Skulls thought about the shot, then thought better of it. Back out to that far side. Good possession high up in Manchester City territory. First time we've seen all the outfield players this far into the Man City half. Promising as Adiela plays it out to that far side. Orford has stayed over there. Looking for the ball into the channel. Right idea. It wasn't a million miles away from its intended target. But the ball does find a Manchester City foot. Back into Grant then. So Wunmi is an option on this near side, and he's just ahead of the City defender Mufuni there, but decides to go back into Grant. Ajala was close enough, and well, Grant's distribution has been a little bit off at times, and it may lead to something decent here for Orford. Plays it back out to the left. Delivery in, looking towards Ajala, too close to Grant. But probably the best passage of play in the Manchester City half from a Hammers point of view, Mark.
Without a shadow of a doubt, the last 5 minutes, we haven't looked spectacular, but we've looked to probe, we've looked to keep possession well. We're asking City a few questions. How
much will that have been in Kevin Keane's pre-match team talk to try and keep the game going as long as possible, just don't concede silly?
I think, as I alluded to earlier, it was about keeping our shape more than anything. We kept our shape and really offered them that many opportunities.
Yeah, hugely disciplined off the ball.
Yeah.
And again, they've just managed to win it back here through Battram. Play back out to Orford, who was just over on that left side a minute ago. Helping out there, that's a nice little flick on from Rigger. So Wunmi can't keep hold of it. Try to retrieve it immediately. No real damage done there as it's sent straight back in towards the City half. Battram, the West Ham captain, won't be able to keep that one in play though. So a chance still to try and pen them in their own half. Funny it is that goes back into Samuel. Good switch of play actually as well. But equally good pressure and pressing once more. Grant drives it back out to this near side with Mufuni. That's really good work in there from Battram, forcing the error from the City captain Samuel there, overturning the throw, which they've taken quickly. Orford is the option. was the right idea again, though, Mark, wasn't it? Just trying to get the play underway quickly, catch City by surprise.
Yeah, and it shows good confidence in our team. Sometimes City used to playing teams, they just blow teams away, you know, with their reputation and quality. We're more than matching them at this moment.
Stepping in again there was Adiele, this time using his chest to bring the ball down. That's slightly miscued though from Skull, so City will reset and start again. And as you say, much like the first team at Manchester City in the Premier League, if you back off and try and draw your way to a result, it's not going to happen. And of course, FA Cup tonight, FA Youth Cup. So you're not going to be able to do that either because penalties will ensue.
Yeah.
Good interception there from Batcham, and immediately on his bike. Making the run ahead of him is Sawunmi. And again, they force the throw in. So a chance for a few in Claret and Blue to move forward.
You can physically see our team gaining in confidence as the game goes on, actually. We're just concentrating on playing in our shape. Now we're pushing forward. It'd be nice to get a decent chance.
Certainly.
And hopefully take it away.
Well, absolutely. Will they take that first chance? Grant hasn't had a real save to make in anger, if there is such a thing. If you can make a save in anger, I don't know. In short, he's not been tested just yet. Maybe that will change here. Orford in towards the front post, and it wasn't too far away from that front post, but Grant looked to have it covered.
I know some goalkeepers have made some saves in anger, trust me. I won't mention their names.
Maybe the anger comes after the save, does it?
Yeah, Finn can be an angry man himself, actually. It gets him up, pumped up to save penalties and stuff.
Well, we've heard him a lot. Very vocal is Finn Herrick, the West Ham keeper. But fortunately, he's not been called upon really yet as well. The only effort at goal from City I can recall was the one that was blocked, so wasn't needed there was Finn Herrick, the England under-17 international. And at the other end, a chance from another corner. Skulls with it, and Grant forced into action there. Well, he did well under the circumstances. He was backpedaling, Grant, and they're looking to switch defence into attack once more, but good work from Adiela. Teammate there to overturn possession. Back they go all the way to Herrick, sensibly so. Skulls has just stayed over for the moment on this near side, but he will trot back over there now. Herrick just wanders out of his area to feed it into Orford. More good possession in their own half as well, and then just clipped up towards half. Wouldn't be trying to win it back though. They can't just cling on to it at the crucial moment. That seems to be where the Hammers are just overturning possession. That final ball, but Sawunmi or Ajala just struggling to hang on to it for the time being. But as we said earlier, approaching half an hour almost, and no harm, no foul, still goalless. Gibson Pusey now. Looking centrally once more, but it's good work there stepping in. This could be a chance. Edge of the area, it's Sawunmi. Maybe he'll let fly. Just stabbing that one away is Ezra Carrington.
I couldn't agree with you more. He should have let fly, actually. And if you could hear Kevin Keane shouting, up. He's really keen for us to press like we did, and we won the ball up by. That was a good opportunity for us, really. Should have made a bit more of that, I think.
From the corner before, as you may have just seen there as well. Grant, not full of confidence, but equally gets enough on it to parry it away after the earlier corner. Adiele then with the throw-in. Gets it back once more. Plenty of white shirts around. Oh, that's fancy footwork there from Adiela. Does incredibly well over on that far side. Just dropped the shoulder, couple of step overs and gets away from his man.
It was excellent work, wasn't it? Really, really good. Maybe if you got that just out of him, he's then heading into the box there. I've been bringing all sorts of challenges from behind. Did really well there.
Yeah, see it again there. Just knocks it past Carrington, who did stick to his task and prod it behind for the corner. I make that a hat-trick of corners now for West Ham. Will it be third time's the charm from this set piece? Orford is over it. Wings it in towards the back post, headed clear by Mfuni. Then out to this near side. Another West Ham throw though, so perhaps the first chance for Batcham to wind one up. Will he lob this one in, do you reckon, straight into the area?
I think he will. I can't see anyone who's actually gone in there as a target. We might try and play to feet. I nearly went to say that we're actually encamped in their box, but I won't go as far as to that.
Well, we have seen, as the game has gone on, as I say, approaching half an hour, we've seen West Ham enjoy a bit more possession in the City half, and they have it now. This is Rigger just trying to hold off Ndala. Ndala it is who manages to win that battle, and he's still going here, striding out. Look at the pace here from Ndala, again looking in the middle. Warhurst has made the run ahead of him. Heskey is also in field. Instead it's left in there for Wright. Now it's moved slightly right of centre, but West Ham getting the players back quickly. More of a challenge over there for Adiela once more. Heading that one away was Mayers. At the crucial moment there again, West Ham doing enough when Man City tried to break.
I'd say more than doing enough, working hard, because when Ndala come inside, he's got tremendous pace, hasn't he? He's scary when he runs with it. We did get the bodies back behind the ball, and that's obviously what they've worked on, and then they put it into practice there very well.
Yeah, that's something I'm sure Kevin Keane will have been aware of course, that the Man City break away from home here at the Rush Green Stadium. It's what they've tried when they do drive forward. They all spring forward at the same time. Still some defensive work for West Ham to do here as it's cleared up towards halfway. Samuel, the City captain, is underneath it once more. And again, the formation and the shape that you mentioned earlier, Mark, very much coming in off the ball. It's been disciplined so far.
Yes, agreed.
We have to say so far, don't we? We never know what's round the corner. And this is Mukasa, the former Hammer, trying to get one over his former teammate Batram there. And Batram just does enough to show him in field and back into Man City territory. Not for long, though, as it's played out over to that far side, but over Adiela and over Obovoduo.
What's been encouraging as well, every time City have hit a long ball, it's sending to go out of play, or we've got possession. So, you know, we're encouraged to go and play the long ball, and we'll have it off you. I'd rather hear, I can hear Finn talking all the time. I'd rather hear some of the back three talking as well. Not all just Finn doing the talking. Maybe Reedus or Josh Briggs talking as well, communicating.
Yeah, some of the more senior members of this side, that kind of duty falls upon you would think, and Orford is one of those, a little bit further up in the centre of midfield as well, but even if he is staying a bit quieter, he's certainly showing himself for the ball a lot, is Lewis Orford. Orford, who was an unused substitute in the Premier League recently as well for their 0-0 draw against Brighton on the 2nd of January. Another involvement, good experience for him. Maybe called upon more defensively here as Herrick just comes out of his area. Knew what he was doing though, knew Warhurst was nearby, and does the sensible thing to knock it out for the throw-in on that far side.
Good solid goalkeeping, actually.
Yeah, he's really helped out Ezra Mayers there, because not sure if there was a breakdown in communication, but either way, he took hold of the situation, did Finn Herrick. Back they go again. This is Heskey. Now you can hear that cry that Mark was talking about, Kevin, of push up, get up. A bit slower to do it on that occasion. That means that Heskey will have a little bit more time to thread it into Simpson Pusi. This is Mufuni. Left by Simpson Pusi, and again Grant will this time be able just to trot outside of his area and slow it down. Now the trotting is being done by Simpson Pusi. He's got his captain to his right and Funny to his left. Is the latter. Funny goes long this time. Warhurst is on his bike, but it's well watched by Golan Beckis. And even better than that, he didn't just knock it forward, he's nodded it infield there to Briggs. Taken all the pressure off, because if he headed that straight back, it could have fallen straight to a Man City player.
Yeah, having worked with Kevin Keane for a number of years, he's big and massive, big, and win the header and win it to one of ours. Don't just win it and head it aimlessly. That's exactly what he did there. This is a good picture.
Yeah, another good chance here. Batram plays it out to Sawunmi. Sawunmi with the delivery in, headed away as far back now as Skulls. Doesn't quite cushion that volley control, but he gets it back there. Good recovery from Ollie Skulls. Then played out to Adiela. Really good work again. Oh, and then just brought down on the edge of the area. Well, he's giving it the other way. I have to say, At first glance, it looked as though Adiela was shrugged down there. He's actually the referee giving it the free kick in the other direction.
I'm obviously biased, you know I am, but I thought it was 2 free kicks against him, an early one, which he kept going, and then the second one. But the ref's a lot closer than I am, so we'll take his word for it.
We'll take his word for it, benefit of the doubt. But as you say, 2 occasions, we see it here again. It's the give and go there, just sliding in the City player. And then on the second occasion, it's Ezra Carrington. And it does look a bit industrious there from Carrington.
I'd say we were unlucky not to have 2 free kicks there. And the second one, in a great position. Maybe Ollie Scholes or Lewis Alford to place in the top corner of the net, but
would have been a real threatening position, promising position from a Hammers point of view. You can see just there at the end of that replay as well, Rigger and Sawunmi, what they thought about it. And you can see the treatment now that Adiela is getting as well. So there's certainly no simulation on that occasion.
I think there was had similar thoughts to myself, which I won't go into on air.
No, that's okay. We'll save that for half time.
It's encouraging though. There's, you know, Emeka, when Emeka's got the ball and there's a chance for him to drive forward, he's done that and he's took people out of the game. He's done well, done really well, Emeka.
Certainly has. One of the changes this evening for Kevin Keane on the bench tonight. Jerry Amulo more attacking. Tyrone Pata more of a central midfielder, and it seems as though Adiela's come in for Jethro Medine, who's also named on the bench tonight, Mark.
Yeah, plus Favour and Liam Jones are, you know, second year's attackers, so we've got a decent bench if anyone does need to come on. So, you know, we're in quite a good state of affairs at the moment.
Yep, and Favour for Wunmi, as you mentioned there, Mark, is on the bench again tonight. He scored the equaliser against Southampton here in the last round last month. Maybe he'll do the same again. He's got 12 under-18 goals since he joined, or started playing in the under-18s anyway. Joined the Hammers as an under-15.
Yeah, we actually joined from Barnet. We got him from Barnet. No, he's got a really nice habit of coming off the bench and scoring. You know, for the 18s last year and this year. So maybe we'll need him to do that tonight.
Yeah, and it was a similar pattern as well in that game. I think we may have actually had the goal against Southampton by this point, in terms of Southampton it was who took the lead last month in the last round of the FA Youth Cup, and then Favour shortly after the break, Favour for Wunmi it was that levelled it up, and that's how it finished before extra time and after extra time before those penalties. Chance here for Ndala again, who's just peeled off to this near side. Samuel again looking for the switch over to the right, faced up by Adieli, and again seems to be an imposing figure, does Adieli, when the Manchester City players are staring at him, and they've done enough to overturn possession here. Again, Batram flying forward, he's joined by Orford. Orford now first time with the ball in, decent one, headed clear, Simpson Pusi defending again. Pusi, who's got echoes of Nathan Ake about him as well, the City senior player in the middle, as both teams appeal for that throw-in. Yeah, more of a 50-50 one. What did you make of that, Mark? It's right in front of us here.
Yeah, I think it's probably the right decision, but it looks like now that City is sort of playing on the counter-attack, really, and we've got the line share possession and they're waiting to hit us on the counter. As again, nothing clear-cut has really fallen to us, but we're asking questions.
Yeah, we'll throw out all the cliches, war of attrition, game of chess, it's been all of those, but it's still been a good watch at 0-0, and as you say, it is the Hammers who've started to warm to the occasion and force Manchester City into more lively breaks rather than affording all of the ball. Much like this is how it was playing out earlier on, wasn't it?
Yeah, we're sort of forcing them into playing long, which we have then regained for possession from. They're not playing a lot through the thirds. Maybe that is because of our shape, making it hard for him. So he's going to go back now, yeah.
Yeah, force back again. Good press, Sawunmi. Tries to jump in front of Grant there. Grant just about gets his clearance away. Then nodded upfield over there. Heskey up against Scholes. Plays it down the line now, looking for Warhurst, and prodded out by Josh Briggs on that far side. Again, we have to emphasise, so far, with 39 minutes played, West Ham United pretty solid defensively, answering all the questions being asked by them, by this Manchester City side, coached by Ben Wilkinson.
Son of Howard Wilkinson.
I left that one for you. I was going to say it.
The tapping off the keeper. I normally miss those and put them over the bar.
Yeah, had all that time at Sheffield Wednesday, of course. Decent management career as well, Al Wilkinson. The Nathan Ake lookalike that I was telling you about on the ball now. About my Simpson Pusi, centre of a back three. They've given it away here. Chance for Orford, playing into Sawunmi. Batram's made the run again. Sawunmi though. Sawunmi lets fly. Oh, there may have just been a slight nick on that as it went through. Well, decision is goal kick.
I think it was the correct decision. I was right. And a great run again from Ryan Batram. Great run. Took the defender's eye there. Just that little gap there.
Yeah, yeah, you called it, Mark. Pulled the trigger. It was just inviting him to have a go. Try and aim it towards top bins, top left bins. Just slightly slices that one. But first real, we talked about saves in anger earlier, but that's probably the first shot in anger from a West Ham player with 40 minutes played. Again, just forcing Manchester City to hurry things slightly here. Good work off the ball from the Hammers. There we go. Despite conceding the throw-in, it is still deep in City territory. It's far from clear yet. Sawunmi fancies that. Just given a little bit of a teaser there. They can't keep it in play. This time Carrington just chests it out for the throw.
Fantastic pressing from our team there. Fantastic. Just forcing the mistake.
Yep, and they've done more and more of it as this half has progressed, and it's Adiello with the ball in his hands now. Skulls just in a tussle there with Jaden Heskey. Get the benefit of the doubt. Another 50-50 call for the throw-in, but in favour of those in claret and blue. Adiello again just looking for the options. Going in short there is Rigger. More smart play from Adiello, just skips away from City player there. This time does get the free kick and another good position.
Again, he's really going well at him. Really is every time he gets it in his space, he's running into him. Very progressive, very
tricky
good.
Player, can see why he's been brought back in to the lineup today. And maybe that makes up for the decision that wasn't given earlier. Can they capitalise from this free kick? Well, before we have the free kick, it's Ezra Carrington who's just gone down, the England under-19. We talk about senior players for West Ham. Ezra Carrington certainly one of the more senior players for Ben Wilkinson. Normally plays right back as he is tonight. He's got a goal as well from the opening 10 under-18 Premier League games this season. Also used in the PL2 for the under-21s. He's made his debut last season after joining the academy at 11 years old.
I think that more emphasises what a good job Emeka's doing up against him, because he's going past him on quite a regular occurrence.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like Master versus the Apprentice. Pretty much the reverse of that. Looks to be okay though, which always good to see. So just going through some routine there before he gets allowed back on the field of play. So now we will prepare ourselves for this free kick, which both Skulls and Orford are over, it looks like. In it goes, right-footed. Delivery is good. Grant gets something on it, and Gollum Beckis is up there as well. Just stumbles at the crucial moment before he was about to pull the trigger. There's a West Ham player who stayed down as well. Looks as though it's Mayers, so there'll be one short at the back here. And this is Heskey. The offload was from Warhurst. So they're one short with the defender still down, but they will get through that passage of play, and now there's a chance for Mayers to receive some treatment.
That was a genuine chance. Merides just couldn't sort his feet out, could he? Really, the ball sort of got stuck underneath his feet. It was either side of him because he just swung at it. But again, causing problems in their box. I mean, keepers had to come through a melee of bodies there. I don't know if he punched us or unintentionally. I don't mean it's a foul. I mean, after that there was.
Yeah, well, the delivery is pinpoint accurate from Lewis Orford, and then we see Mayers go in for the challenge with true Grant. He's just clutching the back of his head, as you say. Nothing malicious about it from Grant. He's looking to punch the ball away, and hopefully Mayers is okay after this.
Yeah, just a mistimed punch. I know lots of people have thrown lots of them. Not myself, obviously.
And it does mean that we tick closer towards the 45 minutes played, so we will look over towards the fourth official, Eddie Osborne, in front of the stand here at Rush Green Stadium shortly to see what's added on. Can't imagine it'll be too much. We have had a couple of stoppages though, maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3. There's been a couple. I think the last 10, 15 minutes we've been in the ascendancy actually. I'm quite pleased with us. I don't remember that many opportunities in around our box or in our final third. Done really well.
Yeah, I'll go with that. West Ham certainly in the ascendancy, finishing this first half on top. As he's now back on his feet, and there will be 4 minutes of added on time, and that makes sense because we've had that stoppage and we had an earlier stoppage as well in the City half, or we had Carrington down as well a few moments ago. So maybe time for one more chance for either of this evening's sides, but in truth I imagine both Ben Wilkinson and Kevin Keane will be keen to get in at half-time 0-0.
Yeah, and I think I don't know about Ben Wilkinson, but I think Kevin might be quite pleased with what he's watched. It's been good.
Yeah, a chilly night, not as cold as it has been, but West Ham warming to the occasion in added on time here. The end of the first half, if you're just joining us. We've missed the vast majority of this first half. FA Youth Cup 4th round action, live from Rush Green Stadium for you, West Ham United TV. Nodded back there by the captain Samuel, number 4 to number 4. Golombekis stooping to win that. This is Battram. Just hands that one straight to the City player. Then Mukasa gets himself involved. Again, they're not really giving City any time to breathe on the ball. It means that they are forcing that error from time to time. This time it's smashed into Skulls. Eski takes the throw in quickly. In a bit of a hurry, they may well fancy one more chance for themselves now. Oh, bit of space here for City to try and make the most of. It's played out to Ndala. We haven't sinned for the last few moments, but a chance to try and get the better of Golombekis. Still going. Reinforcements with him, but then checks in field. This is Ndala. Ndala doesn't strike it though. Look at how many West Ham shirts are in the way. Danger not quite clear yet. So they'll start again with Carrington. Into Simpson Pusi. Back out to that far side. This is Jaden Heskey. Carrington continued his run. More good work, especially after going down with that injury from Ezra Mayers defensively to put it behind for the corner. Heskey it was who got it started there. Carrington with the decent overlapping run. Got away from Adieli and then just makes himself big there, does Mayers. Does enough to put it behind for the corner. They will not want to concede here. Some Pusi it is with the delivery. Overhead kick clearance there from Orford. No acrobatics, but it does go over his kick. Back out to the far side. Now a City player down off the ball. Play goes on. Heskey faced up by Adiela. Neat turn backwards. Delivery comes in once more, and that's a confident claim there from Finn Herrick. Well, Herrick it was that claimed, but Shelby Elson has blown in his whistle for something here.
I think he's alluding to it being a head injury, which Finn doesn't. I don't think Finn agrees with him. Actually, he was looking to play us on the
No, well, I think Ezra Carrington went down earlier, but he wasn't clutching his head last time.
Book Finn, yeah? His little outburst.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Shelby Elson in conversation with Finn Herrick, and he's scribbling something down in his book there. Well, we'll get that firmed up for you because he was definitely writing something down there, but we didn't see a yellow card.
Definitely not. He was definitely writing something down there, yeah.
It's a drop ball and Herrick in a hurry. It's a decent overarm bowl to that far side, Adieli. Up it goes to Ajala. Maybe just gone a little bit quieter despite West Ham growing into this first half. hasn't seen as much of the ball, so Wunmi has been a live wire pressing. And there is the half-time whistle. Well, a game of few chances, best probably falling to Sir Wunmi for West Ham, who had a go trying to pick out the top left corner just after the half-hour mark. I think that one was. A good blocking from the edge of the area to prevent Man City having their first shot on target. But other than that, it's been both teams cancelling each other out, Mark.
It has indeed, as I say, you know, we had a low defensive block and was letting them have the ball in their back four, and we were sort of daring them, if you want, to go over the top. Every time they've gone over the top, we've gained possession. I mean, it's a bit of a chess match. It's a bit of a chess match, but the way it's going now, it just shows you when you get the quality of these two teams, which they are, up there with the best under-18s in the country. You know, it's going to take something special to break the deadlock. Hopefully, for someone in the West Ham shirt.
Yeah, a lot of respect being shown between both sides, as you say. They don't want to make a silly error because they know that both teams flying forward are more than capable on the break.
Without a doubt. I mean, Ngala's a threat every time he gets in an open game, and we're aware of that. So you just couldn't let him have play open, expensive football, because he'll punish you for that. But as I say, I think we're more than holding our own. And I do apologise if I'm totally biased towards West Ham, because I am totally biased towards West Ham United.
Well, this is West Ham United TV, so you're okay. That's why we've got you here, Mark, to give you the West Ham view on some of these players and cast your eye over that first half action. And we will be back with you shortly for the second half. How do you see the second half play out? Maybe a few more gaps opening up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the coaches are going to put their thing to say in the dressing room. I don't think Kev is going to change too much. He's probably quite happy with what he's seeing. He thinks that one chance might fall to us and it might just be a 1-0 game. I don't know how Man City would view it. They might, they might change their style, might change their shape, might look to do things. They obviously speak to their analysts and stuff, who are very important in this day and age. So we'll have to. I wouldn't be too unhappy if it stays as it is, and we win the game 1-0 in the 89th minute.
Well, you heard it here first. Thanks very much for your thoughts in that first half, Mark. We will shortly take you through some of those highlights of the first half. There were a couple of efforts at goal, which we'll talk you through. Block in there as well. But until we do, I'm sure you're a lot warmer than us, so do go and warm up. Get yourself a coffee or a tea, or maybe something stronger. And we'll be back with you very shortly. Yeah, as we say, it was a first half of few chances. So instead, we are going to be back with you for the second half very shortly. And we're both off to get a hot drink as well. Well, welcome back to this live stream for you on West Ham United TV for this second half, the FA Youth Cup 4th round. As you can see there at the break, West Ham United 0, Manchester City 0, the under-18s this evening. Joined by Mark Phillips, academy coach here at West Ham United. And we were just talking off air there about potential substitutes, and it looks like we've got one here, Mark.
Yeah, I think, not trying to be clever after the event, but I said Kev might be the happy of the two coaches. We haven't made a substitution because Kev's happy with what he's seeing, and looks like their right back's come off, I think. Yeah,
Ezra Carrington it was, who was in the thick of it towards the end of that first half. He went down a couple of times, I think, and yeah, there was also a suspicion of a head injury as well. But either way, it is the end of Ezra Carrington's evening, and it's a chance for Michael Okeke to come on for a full half, this second half, and maybe more as well. As we say, if it does stay level, it will be on to extra time and penalties. Okeke, you can see just going through his paces there. Okeke, as he glances through his notes, the Hungary under-21 international, has mainly been used in the under-21s for this season. Signed from Bolton in 2016 as a 10-year-old for the Man City Academy. So some under-21 international experience being brought on to the Rush Green Stadium here for this second half. It'll be interesting to see how that affects the dynamic in terms of Kevin Keed's sides, how they react to the new shape perhaps from Manchester City.
I don't think City's changed their shape, they've just changed the personnel. He looks like a natural right back the way he's gone in there. Maybe the shape's staying the same, just different personnel.
There we go, not here for bias, you're here for calling it. Right back for right back, seems about right. Beckis now needs to get that one right on its way back into Finlay Herrick. Just forced a little bit further back there was Orford, but they do enough. It finds its way out now to Mayers. It's just stamped on there, that clearance from Justin Obovoduo. Didn't see loads of Obovoduo in the first half. May have been Obovoduo who scored one of the goals in the second round. No, it was Heskey and Warhurst who got both goals against Watford last month in the third round for Man City, and here is Heskey now, just not keeping all of the ball in play, some of the ball in play. Well, initially it looked as though the official on this near side had given a throw-in. Yeah, the throw-in it is.
It looked like he was throwing to us, quite bizarre. Stop your biasness, Mark.
Well, no, but it did seem as though throw-in was given for a Manchester City player not keeping the ball in play. But as it is, West Ham are able to quickly win it back. Stepping in, though, was the captain Samuel to try and put it into the danger zone. Warhurst is there making a nuisance. Briggs it is that was able to do enough. All of the outfield players for a moment there in the Hammers half. Simpson Pusi at walking pace again, and this is where talk about that war of attrition. This time the diagonal is out to that far side. This could be dangerous. Golombekis with some work to do, and then played in and fired over. Well, that was a chance for Mukasa. They know the threat of Divine Mukasa. It's laid back neatly over on that far side. It's Ndala again. Heskey leaves it. Mukasa, well, he'll want that one again, Mark.
That's probably how he dreamt it last night, for him to fall in the edge of our box, and he made too much contact, but he obviously the ball far too hard. We could have just placed it really.
On a plate really for Mukasa, maybe just hurried it. That goes down as one of the best chances of the match, certainly the best chance in this second half, with it being just 3 minutes old. This is Grant, Ajala giving chase. Again, hunting in packs there, the Hammers, good work. Now they just filter over to this near side, and they will just reserve a bit of energy as it goes back into Grant.
I actually think that was City's best chance of the game in the second half. That was their best chance so far.
Good turn of pace here from Simpson Pusi. Just invited forward, still going, then offloads it to that far side. Again, more danger here. This is Undala. Oh, and low in. That can't have been far wide from the foot of that right post.
I think he hit the back wheel. You've been calling him Nathan Aki, actually, in the number 3. When he drives forward with the ball, he's an absolute threat because he's driving into space, he's committing players, he's slipping people. I'd like him to do it less frequently, but when he does it, he does cause us problems.
Certainly does. Just invited forward there. It's just got his drop the shoulder and put it into 5th and smash forward, and it created that chance. They've had a couple of moves forward over on that far side, Manchester City's left. Now maybe they'll look out to this near side, the right. Okeke. Good work there from Orford to step in. Scarles is on hand to help out as well. Adiela. Good ball just ahead of him to Scarles. Just need to keep it moving here and then steps in field. Really good work from Scarles. Will he have a go here? He does have a go, and that's not a million miles away over.
That's the first time we've really seen Ollie. He's got that in his armour without a doubt. It's the first time he's really looked to open him up. I wasn't sure if he was in two minds, shooting or crossing at the actual at the end.
Maybe it could be a cross-come shot. Maybe trying to see if Grant was off his line. But as you say, he pivoted and moved away from trouble, and then was just probably thinking, why not on the angle? Maybe caught in two minds, like you say, because in the end it floated rather harmlessly over Grant's post, and in a flash they've got a bit of defending here to do with Kevin Keane's side, and they do enough smartly. Back into Golan Bekis. Lead it out to this near side now with Mayers, who looks to have run off that issue in the first half. The other end as well, is at that end actually. Mayers trying to be an attacking threat when he got one on the back of the head from True Grant.
I think their coach, Mr. Wilkins, has definitely tried to get them to up the tempo. They're pressing down on us quite a lot now, but they was like quite languid and laid back the first half. They've upped their tempo, definitely.
Yeah, the intensity just gone up a notch or two. First 5 minutes of this second half. Simpson Pusi this time goes left to Mufuni. This now is Jaden Heskey. Look at those claret and blue shirts around him. It's been a hallmark of their performance tonight, and again, as you were saying from Kevin Keane, stay organised, keep the intensity up off the ball. And again, they just drop into shape here. Furthest forward there is Rigger. Mufuni looking down for Ndala once more. He was a threat in the first half, and he's threading across the ball now to Okeke, striding out. Decent pace from him. Similar to what we saw from Ndala in the first half. Okeke, the Hungarian now, just held up there by Mayers. And Adiela helping out. Well, they forced the throw in at least. That's good doubling up there from Mayers and Adiela. City throw. Plenty high up. The movement is in there, but instead the throwing comes back into Samuel. Maybe the first time in this half, Mark, where we've seen all of the outfield players in the West Ham half. But Adiela just had plenty of space ahead of him, looking equally as tricky as he did in the first half, but then sensibly offloads it to Scarles, looking forward. That's good work from Rigger. Good strength. Shrugs off the first challenge and wins the throw-in. Promising. Just as I was saying about being penned back, they move forward neatly.
Similar to the first half, they started a bit better than us, and we came into it. And Josh, get to the byline.
Josh Ajala now, just looking, as you say, Mark, to get to the byline, but City also doubling up and hunting in packs. May fall into Scarles. This time that was definitely a cross, looking in towards the penalty spot. Back only as far as Mayers. That's a smart ball forward. Again, Rigger turning nicely and bringing Adiela into play. Sliding back there was the captain Samuel behind for the corner. Crowd here appreciating that one.
I think we needed a little foothold because they came out of the traps from second half. Sort of that they was in the ascendancy. Now a little bit of passing, a little bit getting in behind them. Now we're asking a few questions.
Yeah, certainly more questions posed by both sides in this second half. It doesn't look like they want extra time or penalties. I'm sure the fans here may think otherwise. Orford with the delivery. It's a good one again off the bar. Almost went all the way in. Grant was stranded. In truth, I'm not sure he's making that true, Grant. And play goes on.
I think the keeper actually misjudged it.
Well, we saw a similar one in the first half, which he just about gets to, but he was backpedaling on that occasion. I don't think he's close enough. If that goes a few inches under the bar, it's 1-0 to West Ham straight from the corner.
It is indeed.
Heskey now. Out with him on this near side, he's got Obovo duo. Simpson Pusi again. Mark, you highlighted they can't afford to step off too much because he will drive forward.
He will. He's looking for the space to drive into.
This occasion he leaves it foot and funny, making the run over there, Zundala. Stepping in again though neatly, it was Gollum Beckis who could play it out to the far side. But on every occasion when City have looked like they're going to be asking a question, West Ham just step in as we see that corner in from Orford, and well, Grant had almost given up on it before it crashes against the crossbar, so certainly beaten.
If that goes in, Lewis Orford will tell me he meant it.
You'll say he's been practicing it in training, I'm sure. Meanwhile, Gollum Beckis just winding up for this throw on halfway. Just check for a moment to look back and see if there's a better option along the halfway line. Good work in there from Rigger. May win it back on that far side, just harrying up against the Manchester City defender, and a little bit too handsy there, quite literally. So Man City free kick, it was Mfuni he was battling with.
I think Dan Rigg is not got a point to prove, but Manchester City was not going to offer him a scholarship, so that's why we took him at the end of his schoolboy career, and we took him as a scholar. So probably knows all these players well, you know, played against them regularly, and he's probably saying, this is what you should have, this is what you've missed, sort of thing. And I think he's done quite well, Dan. Good attitude.
Maybe a point to prove, and same could be said of Mukasa as well, lining up for Manchester City, a former Hammer, of course. 10 minutes of this second half played, if you're just joining us. Really interesting FA Youth Cup tie here. No goals, but 10 minutes into this second half, and it is starting to open up. I've had one change as well. Michael Akeke has come on for this second half, and here he is now, just dropping the shoulder and trying to get away from Adiela, sending it into the channel for Ndala to give chase. Back into Herrick it goes. First time side-footed clearance as far up as Samuel. Taking over now for the visitors is the aforementioned Mukasa. Good battle there with Scholes, just backing into him. Looks to pick it up again. Needs to be careful there though, does Scholes, and just at the right moment is able to hoist it clear. Maybe it'll get better here. Stepping in again though is the Man City captain Samuel. Intensity and tempo starting to go up a notch or two here at the Rush Green Stadium. Okeke. Adiela just stands off him again, doesn't want to overcommit. Simpson Pusi now, looking for the option, or perhaps, again, thoughts towards a marauding run forward. Square instead it goes to Samuel. Again, look at those in claret and blue just shift across. We've talked about it a good few occasions tonight already, Mark, but they're moving in unison. Yeah,
you can see they've done a lot of work on the training pitch. You know, out of possession, we look a really good defensive unit.
Yeah, more good work off the ball, and you can see that they're having to play it from right to left, left to right here, the visitors. Maybe a chance here for Heskey to bomb on. Down the line it goes. This could be dangerous for the Hammers. Across it goes to Okeke. And Adiela just scurries over to get in front of his man. Back in now to right. Choosing the right moments to press on has been impressive in formation from West Ham defensively. Now City just trying to force the issue. Samuel back into Simpson Pusi. It's actually really good close control from Simpson Pusi there, because was fizzed behind him. Oh, that's a neat turn though from Okeke. Making the run on this near side is Obov-Woduo. Low ball across and then smashed over by Heskey. Well, that's outside the stadium now, but a really good move, Mark.
Again, it started from number 3, Simpson Pusey. He's making it come from a deep area. He's picking good passes, even when he's not driving. Oh, it's a decent chance.
Yeah, the ball across from Obov-Woduo is decent. And again, we said it a few moments ago with the earlier chance, which was hoisted over. It's perfect for Heskey, just doesn't time his connection with the ball quite right. Gets underneath it. And that ball, yeah, I'm not sure if that was retrieved. That's outside the ground now, but we are back underway.
Starting to create chances, unfortunately, Manchester City.
Yeah, the game starting to stretch. We thought it may well do, because both teams initially very attritional, cancelling each other out, not wanting to overcommit. And as we approach the hour mark, the gaps are starting to open up. Which side will capitalise? Still got half an hour to go of this one, and if it stays the same scoreline, we will be on to extra time. So potentially more FA Youth Cup action for you this Friday night.
They found a few. The number 3, what's his name again? I'm terrible at pronouncing his name.
Simpson Pusey for Manchester City.
Simpson Pusey's found a few balls that have cut us in half a little bit, and he's broke lines, which has caused us a few problems.
Wanting to pull the strings.
Yes.
Goals just stepping in there, but yeah, Jemai Simpson Pusey, England under-18 international, largely used in the under-21 league, the Premier League 2, then under-18s last year as a scholar. He also joined the club as an 8-year-old, so he knows Manchester City's academy very well. Good work again though from Rigger. They're not giving up the front 3 and 2 at times. Ajala it is shifting over now. Samuel forward to Okeke. Just stumbles there, Adiele, and that means that it can be toe poke forward again from Obov-Woduo. Based up this time by Mayers. Back 3 so far doing enough. They're looking good and compact as a unit, the back 3 of West Ham, and when needed, Scarles and Battram on that far side, the captain tonight, also putting a shift in. Again with Obov-Woduo, starting to see him in these kind of positions a little bit more frequently. Trying to get away from Mayers, still has it. Looking for Ndala. I mentioned Battram stepping in and doing enough defensively. Does it again there.
Again, we had good shape. They're just getting a little bit into pockets and areas and starting to run at our back four. We've held strong and held fast, but we have to be aware of it. I like us when we're pressing them, we're hurrying them up and forcing them into mistakes. You let them have time, they will hurt you.
Yeah, it was part of the discussion in that first half, wasn't it? Oh, but it's given away there. This is Ndala, I think, looking in for the run of Obov-Woduo, trying to nudge it past his man, but shows too much of it to Herrick. And Obov-Woduo are really growing into this game.
Fantastic dive there from Eric for no reason, Finn, making a mood of it. Well done.
Eric it is that bowls it out and looking in, not for Scarles, but instead Adiela. Now a bit of space for Adiela. What will he do here? Plays it back in field. Return pass is played out to Scarles. This is where he wants to see more of the ball, Ollie Scarles. Good idea there, but Okeke read it on the byline. And corner is decision. Okeke's not sure about that one.
Look.
Scarles it is, who was looking just to nudge it past him. Well, it's tough to see if the ball even went out for a corner rather than a throw-in.
Fantastic decision by the officials.
Well, short corner. Scarles
they've gone to sleep.
Looking for Orford. Trying to capitalise Orford with the blocked effort. May fall out now to Ajala. Back it goes though to Orford. Just scoops it up towards that back post. May fall in there for Colin Beckis with the effort. Again, similarly to the first half. Can't quite sort his feet out, but a real promising position from the Lithuania under-16 international. And you can see he wants that one again. Colin Beckis, really good ball played in. There's a couple of West Ham players. Ajala is making nuisance. He's trying to juggle it in under his spell and just hurries it on the volley.
I think a big shout there of Aridis' ball. Josh Ajala gets out of the way of it, and he's got a shot on goal. Sort of too many bodies around it, really. Good header at the back stick from Josh Briggs, I think it was. Keep it in play.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good delivery as well from Orford to ask the question. The Manchester City danger zone. Adiela's read that one nicely. Chance now for Ajala to turn. This is Orford. Orford still going, cries of shoot, and that's not a million miles away at all. Decent strike, well, we heard it here in the crowd. You may have picked it up there as well. Few cries of shoot, and he does just that, not far wide.
The way the keeper was sort of scampering across.
That is inches wide. The City defenders just backed off, and Orford in the end just thought, why not? And what I was going to say earlier, we were mentioning about how Manchester City, well, they're used to teams just backing off. Kevin Keane must have said, don't give them that time and space at any stage throughout the match, and they won't be used to it.
Without that, and I mean, it's proven when we have backed off, they picked holes in us. But when we're in their face, so to speak, and hurrying them up, more than holding their own.
Much like we see now, they're forced back into Grant. You can see number 9 of Joshua Ajala now just at the bottom of your picture. Rigger as well, who's been certainly throwing himself about as well and committing, but a chance here for City to break. This is Heskey, who's just moved out to the far side, rolls it back now. This is Ndala looking for a Keke, a little bit of space here. West Ham just backed off, good first time ball. Oh, and just stumbles at the critical moment there, did Mukasa. Well, it was West Ham at the other end with cries of shoot for Lewis Orford. This time it's the former Hammer Mukasa who just needed to pull the trigger. Chance there, stepping across him was Josh Briggs, but certainly had the opportunity to pull the trigger. Still we await the first goal, but this is Ajala trying to find a bit of space, driving centrally. Move on the right from the captain, Batram. Can he find the delivery into the area? Instead, just holds it up nicely, and Ajala with a couple of step overs, trying to hurdle through a few challenges. Nothing doing though, so Heskey plays it out and a bit further forward. Ooh, overturned possession high up though. Chance for a delivery into the box. Stepping in again is Samuel. Again, more possession for West Ham, higher up in the City half. Anybody's guess the way this first goal will go. Both teams contributing in attack and defensively. This now is Briggs sliding in, times that one well. And we've got the basketball fields now, Mark, one end to the other.
It has gone a little bit like that. It has gone a little bit like that.
Spread out to Adiela, again finds himself in a bit of space, chests it down neatly enough, then looks up for the teammates in field. So wouldn't me. Across it goes. Towards Orford with the effort, I think it was there, and a slight deflection makes it very easy in the end for True Grant.
As you quite rightly said, it has gone very end to end. You have a chance, we have a chance, you have a chance.
Most recent 2 chances though for the home side.
I have to mention that fantastic pass there from Ollie Scholes though, to Emeka. Fantastic switch of play.
He's starting to find even more spaces, Adiela, but he'll be needed to drop back on this near side defensively from a West Ham point of view. There he is, just dropping in. Okeke now at walking pace. Showing a little bit of it to Ajala. They almost want those front 3 to commit to open up that space beyond them in terms of Rigger, Ajala and Sawunmi. They want to find those pockets around halfway as it is now so that they can turn. We saw Ndala do it on a number of occasions in the first half. He's also done it on the left again as that one's played long, and that is a bit of a waste from a Man City perspective.
I think when we've, not saying we've forced them into playing long, but when we've sat in their shape and they've played long.
So end of the night for Alicia Sawunmi, and will it be super sub favour for Wunmi again? Scored in the last round against Southampton in the second half. We're 1-0 down in the last round, but it's goalless here. Other substitution is the captain, Ryan Battram. See who he hands on the skipper's armband to. It's Jethro Medine, who is a fullback, so it'll be interesting to see if he stays on the right or left. That'd be like for like as well, do you think?
Like for like. Yeah, be like for like. I think, how long have we played now? I think Ryan's had Sydney's come back from injury. He's had a good 68 minutes, is it? 68 minutes, yeah.
Yep, just managing the minutes of the captain who started this game as captain, I should say.
Yeah. He is the regular captain of the under-18s, Ryan.
And certainly a good shift, good minutes as well. He was busting a gut up and down, especially in this first half just in front of us. So well-earned rest now for the rest of the evening. A chance for his teammates to do the business instead. Maybe they will find the opener here. It's a crunching challenge, but fair that comes in. Mayers is scampering backwards. Eric is on hand. He'll pick it up now. But throughout the game, progressively, West Ham definitely carrying more of a threat and seeing more of the ball higher.
Yeah. Apart from the two chances after half-time, one to Divine and one to, I think it was Eski, they were genuine chances.
Yeah, Lucasa and Heskey chances where really kind of unforced errors because it was played into them perfectly, and there's another unforced error for us as well. That all just kept in play there by Mayers. Under a bit of pressure here, but does well to switch it onto his right foot and pick out a ball to Ajala. Impressive turn that from Joshua Ajala, just in front of us here on halfway. Wins the throw in, which Adiela takes quickly. Now, and Orford won't want to see that again.
I thought Lou said that someone was injured and he wanted the ball out for no reason.
It was a shame though, because they turned over possession again rather rapidly, and there was a chance maybe to make strides on this near side. Good work again from Ajala.
Yeah, he received it very well, Josh, there, and spun their centre half.
Here is Okeke now. Back into Samuel.
Love that shot there. You can hear 4 or 5 of our defenders calling up, which is good. Good communication.
Over on that far side, it's with Mufuni. More patient stuff here from the Mancunians, waiting for the right moment to pounce and send it forward. They do go forward here now. Again, Joel and Dala, and Eric stands firm, slides out to claim, and then just asks for some calm. Well, it's Ndala again. Scored a lot in the first half. In the second half, a little bit of a slower start over out on that far side, but he still had a few occasions where he's just broken the lines, and he was the one, I think, who set up one of the chances we were talking about from Mikasa and Heskey as well. Just cut it back in. May have been Heskey when he pulled it over. So the West Ham players will need to be watchful, but a chance here for Adiela once more. Trying to pivot away from trouble, gets the decision this time. Well, he's received a good few nudges for his troubles today, hasn't he, Mark?
Great experience for him, as I say. He's a first-year scholar. He's done really well. Really been pleased with him. Really have.
He's looked strong. He's looked clever on the ball. While there's protests from Okeke, it looked to be a free kick. And another decent position, and another time where we see Orford and Scarles over it. It's the right foot of Orford. Another good-looking ball. Another time that Golan Beckis has got forward, but they can't hold on to it. Okeke now. For a moment was back to go, and then that's a good little flick to just carry the ball half a yard away from his opponent, but he can't make the most of it. Seen that 3 or 4 times now where it's been rather wasteful for Man City.
I'm glad to say. Yeah, no, exactly. There's a time that he could have played in behind us, but the execution wasn't right. Did we clarify the point whether Fing did get booked or not in the first half? I haven't heard either way that he did. We did see the referee scribbling.
Clear that one up. We didn't. Well, all we can say is we didn't see a yellow card, but we did see him scribbling it down. So we will. We'll get that one cleared up for you. Well, there'll be an interesting one to call if we see Herrick going for something again, because I believe there was no yellow card, but that is just my faith and wisdom. I've got nothing to confirm that. So all we saw was the scribbling down as Herrick does go long again towards halfway. Space over here for Adiella again. It's toe poked over by Skulls. He's continued his run. Mayers now clips it forward, looking towards Sawunmi. Ajala then looking in to try and hurry right on the ball, but they're able now just to put their studs on top of the ball, right on the edge of the area there. Simpson Pusi. Floats it out to Samuel. Does help it on to Okeke. Looked okay since he's come on this near side as Okeke. Warhurst looking to get away. We haven't had said his name to him, but Herrick's off his line here, and they knew that as well. They pulled the trigger. Doesn't get that one right at all. It was Mukasa, I think, who had a go there. What a moment that would have been for him if he'd have pulled that off, because backpedaling there was Herrick.
I think he actually rushed it, Divine, when he didn't really need to, I'm glad to say.
Well, you could see he noticed Finn Herrick off his line, so that's why he probably rushed it, because knew time wasn't on his side if he was going to try and lob it over the top of him. But again, with quarter of an hour to play, we still await the first goal. Both sides now starting to commit a few men forward. Oh, and that's a clumsy challenge in there on Adiella. Well, this time we can see the yellow card right in front of us. Triggered there from Shelby Elson. Triggered maybe not the right word, because that was a clear-cut yellow card.
In all fairness to Divine, he's not that sort of player. He'd be genuinely going for the ball. He's not going to hurt anybody. You look at it now.
That was the Mukasa effort on goal. You can see that Herrick was stranded after giving it away. So it's the right idea, and then we see here the Mukasa challenge. Adiella it is, and yeah, there's no stud showing or anything like that. It's just a full-blooded challenge, mistimed from Mukasa. So he'll receive the booking, and on the proverbial tightrope for the final quarter of an hour, maybe longer, if we do see no goals before the end of 90 minutes and the added on time. Eski now back to goal, threads it back into defensive teammate. Good pressing in there from Rigger though, he's not giving up on that one. Every sniff, the front three, they have oh, and that's a thumping challenge of West Ham's own there. Play goes on though. You can hear the oohs and ahs in the crowd as that challenge went in. It may have even been the thud that we heard, might have been of the challenge, even over on this side. I think we heard that one. Ndala now, neat lay off that into right, looking for the return ball perhaps, flinging himself at it there was Orford. Okeke now. The Irons back in shape, as we saw so often in the first half. They're just off the ball, remaining so resolute and disciplined. They know that if they give Manchester City an easy chance, they just may well take it. Adiella, infield to Orford. Bold ball backwards into Herrick. He got it right, but Herrick, say but, don't need to say but. Good work to find a ball out to Adiella. It's Orford once more, turning away here from trouble. Really impressively was Rigger. Oh, but that was a no-look ball. The hand goes up from Orford because he didn't really look at where he was playing that one. He knew there may have been a teammate over there, but couldn't have been 100% sure that there was a City player in the way. So they keep hold of it here and shift it out to that far side. Wright with a little bit of time on his hands. Eyes around the ground now, starting to look towards the clock. Almost 12 minutes of the 90 to go. And with those eyes looking towards the clock, maybe a few more nerves starting to creep in. Bakis gets it back from Orford. Incisive play over on that far side. Assured play as well, though, in their own half. Now they go long. Ajala, can he latch onto that? It was actually exquisite control in there from Simpson Pusi. You highlighted a few times earlier, he's a decent player.
He's a good footballer. He's a good footballer.
Okeke now just striding out. Backtracking with him is Skulls. Adiela's also there. Chance for Wright to turn. Lucas just stayed out on this near side for the moment as they pass it out to far side again. It's Ndala looking to find that critical hit to open the deadlock. Samuel. Divine Mukasa now. Again, just waiting for those West Ham players to commit. Maybe starting to get a little bit leggy in the last few moments, Mark.
Yeah, and this is when it's not only being leggy, it's your concentration goes. You have to keep your concentration. People running off the back here, talking. You have to talk, pass players over. It worries me when he gets it to free. I think he's dangerous.
Yeah,
starts a lot of their play off.
Move the ball on sharpish there over to the left flank. Wright again, who's starting to find himself in decent position.
We're quite all set at the moment.
Yep, still in good shape, and this now is Obovwo Duo. And well to keep him quiet in passages of play, have Kevin Keed's side. Again, they're forced from right to left, back in field, back again, so it's good work defensively. Golan Beckis now forced just to watch Matty Warhurst. Warhurst, as I say, one of those who scored in the last round, the other Jaden Heskey. Warhurst, the England under-17 international, has been prolific in the under-18 Premier League. 10 goals in 9 games in the under-18 Premier League, so they've done well to keep him quiet so far.
With all their approach play, Man City, they're very reluctant to throw a crossing. It's all trying to go through the middle, Fred, pass, Fred. A little bit like their first team do, actually.
Yeah, they've stuck to the game plan throughout tonight. Yeah. They've looked to try and capitalise on the central channels and keep both wingers wide so that in the central channels they can really try and drive forward in the space, and this is exactly what Samuel's doing now, looking for the return pass. Samuel's again with the ball across. And Herrick is on hand in the right place at the right time. In the end, it's straight at him. But that is the kind of ball that they want to get into the box.
Exactly, very similar to their first team. I think that was Heskey the chance fell to. Was it Heskey in the end? I think it was Heskey, but very similar to watching their first team. That's what they do, and then it's normally Haaland coming in to finish it. I think it was Heskey?
Yeah, Samuels it was into Heskey.
Yeah. I'm glad to say he didn't really make good contact.
A little bit easier to spot with that Barnett as well, isn't he? Would you have had one of those haircuts in your time, Mark?
Well, as I've got no Barnett at all, I'm as bald as a badger. I can't really speak about people's hair. Although if I did have hair, I probably wouldn't abuse it.
They can't see you. They wouldn't have known that. Here we go then. This is Obovwo Duo, faced up by Adiela. There is another substitution being readied on the far side, but ball hasn't gone out of play, so play continues. Heskey just stepping in there, does well to win it back. Shaped in by Obovwo Duo, in towards Ndala. Couple of West Ham players in front of him. Ndala still makes progress, but forced a bit further back on this occasion. Simpson Pusi, Okeke, a little bit more space opening up here. As you just pointed out there though, Mark, he did not want to just swing that one into the box. They commit to the game plan of hanging on to it, waiting for exactly the right moment. This time they'll try and find that moment on the far side. The substitute for Manchester City still waiting, trying to stay warm. I won't mind if they're able to score, but it's Adiela who'll thump this one up towards Ajala. Suspicion of handball, but looked closer to his chest. The play goes on. Skulls, bit too far in front of over for Wunmi. We haven't seen too much of since he's come on.
No, he stepped in well actually there, Lou. He stepped in well, and the thing he's normally really good at is finding that pass. We do look a little bit tired at the minute, but I hope we can keep our concentration. You can see over there, I think we're looking to bring Jerry on. I think I can see Jerry next
Jerry
to
Umolu.
Yeah, that's Jerry.
Another striker option, perhaps, to replace Ajala. We will wait and see.
Jerry's more physical. He's more of a target man. You can play into him, and he's very, very strong.
Here goes Ndala again, looking to lay it back. Instead, it's an incredible save, and off the rebound, I think it comes off Mayers. And the decision is corner. I think he was pointing over there for the corner, so couldn't quite keep it in.
Fantastic save from Finn.
Well, that's certainly the busiest he's been. Ndala, who's been a threat on a good few occasions, forces a really good save out of Finn Herrick, and then it bounces off Mayers. I'm not sure how much he knew about it really, as Divine Mukasa makes his way off, replaced by Emiliano Lawrence. So Mukasa won't come back to haunt West Ham. If it is going to be City, it'll be another player. And there is the physical presence that you talk about of Jerry Umolu on for Josh Ajala. So another like-for-like swap and a little bit more physicality in the area. He's going to be needed defensively first. From this corner, Jacob Wright along the deck. First time effort in at Herrick again. Couple of saves in quick succession then for Finn Herrick. With just over 5 minutes of the 90 to go, it's Wright who goes low from the corner. It finds its target and then placed towards Herrick, but not enough in the corner from a City point of view. Easy enough save in the end for Herrick. This could be another chance though. Chance after chance. Good turn away from Obovwoduo. Oh, and a deflection this time. And we can call that one a deflection. We heard that one as well, didn't we?
I'd say that was an excellent block.
Well, we see Obovwoduo here. That's a really smart turn on the edge of the area. Jinks it onto his left foot. And it may have even taken a couple of nicks. Either way, there was a West Ham touch on it last, so it will be another Manchester City corner in that far side. Into the last 5 minutes of the 90. And goes up again, but they do go short. Swung in, nodded clear. Okeke was waiting for that one to bounce, but Adiela wasn't going to wait for it. Sorry, this is Adiela now. The substitute favour for Wunmi, who was putting the pressure on, but now Manchester City will potentially knock on the West Ham door once more.
This is the time we really have to concentrate. We really communicate, talk to people, left, right shoulders, who's in front of you, who's running in behind. They're just waiting for that one lack of concentration, City.
Can they stay switched on here? Obovwoduo up against Mayers. Come into this game a little bit more as it's progressed, has Obovwoduo on this near side. Once again, shifted out to the far side. They keep switching the wings, and now it's Simpson Pusi looking out towards Samuel. Just watching carefully there was for Wunmi.
You have to admire their patience, actually. They, to a man, they're content to pay.
Clip forward towards Okeke. Once again, it's Mayers who kept his eye on it. Headed clear. Samuel side foots it infield now for Simpson Pusi. But again, this is what we don't want to see from a West Ham point of view. Just a loud forward on that far side. Ndala was making a run, but that's decent enough defending from Golombekis. Turns away, then finds an outlet down the wing and something for Wunmi to try and chase. Well, Kevin Keane will not want his side to concede now. 2.5 minutes of the 90 to go. As a reminder, not that you need it, I'm sure. If we do get past the 90 minutes and the added on time and it remains at a stalemate, we will go to extra time. And it looks as though Man City are the ones who don't want that the most just now. Skipping in field again, Okeke. And Darlow just moved over to this near side, smashed straight into Okeke. Just getting in each other's way again slightly, this time in their own area. We saw it with that Golan Becker's chance earlier in the half in the other area, but they do manage to find a way out as far as halfway.
We've stopped asking any questions in their end of the pitch. It's just defence v attack at the moment a little bit. We're defending okay, but we've got to ask them questions as well. We have to occupy them at that end.
Yeah, the Hammers just bedding in for the time being and happy to sit off Manchester City, which they haven't done for large swathes of this game. So maybe the thoughts are towards just preserving the clean sheet and on to extra time. Chance maybe for some more substitutes. We've already seen Molu and Fuwunmi make their way onto the pitch. Jethro Medine as well replaced Ryan Backstrom earlier. But the repetitive play and persistent play continues from Man City. Samuel now. Again, Simpson, Pusi just invited to stride out. Moving it down the left again. And they find a way into the box. Good work defensively. Orford only just in front of his defensive teammates. Right, getting stuck in. Infield now to Ndala. That's a good turn. Okeke. Right out now to Emilio Lawrence. Infield they go. Obovoduo. Cries of up there to get out from a West Ham point of view. Obovoduo though. Jacob Wright scoops it up towards the back post. And then good work from the substitute Medine to hit it into the Manchester City substitute Emilio Lawrence. And the ball has gone up. 4 minutes of added on time, just under 4 minutes away, at least from extra time.
I was just paying credit to Man City for being so patient, in all fairness to them, but also I want to pay our back players for being credit for concentrating for 90 minutes. Is a very hard thing to do, and we have done that. We haven't dropped our concentration.
Yeah, equal levels really of concentration when you're
there's
trying
Jerry,
to.
There's Jerry's physicality.
Jerry Omolu. Imposing figure and now able to continue to make strides on this near side. Puts it into the path of Adiela. That's a neat layoff. And then into Scholes. Narrowly wide there. Again, Grant was beaten in the end. It's a few yards wide, but a decent chance that for the Hammers.
I think the crowd over in the other stand thought it was a bit closer than it was. It was quite, see, that's what Jerry's physicality can give you. Can ruffle a few feathers in there. That's how we got the chance, really.
Yeah, Jerry Umolu it was who started the last round win over Southampton and really making a nuisance of himself, using his physicality. We mentioned about Matty Warhurst's prolific goal-scoring record in the Under-18 Premier League. It's not bad for Jerry Umulo as well. 11 goals and 4 assists from 11 in the Under-18 Premier League, and we've got a snippet of why that's the case. That includes a hat-trick against Leicester last month, so he's more than capable of finding the back of the net.
Also scored the winner in a thrilling 5-4 game on Saturday.
Yeah, their most recent Under-18 Premier League game against Crystal Palace. Most recent Premier League 2 game as well was against Crystal Palace for the Under-21s. Was a bit more emphatic for West Ham. A 5-1 win in the PL2 before Christmas in the Premier League 2. Not as many worries about that previous form for the rest of tonight. There's a spot in the 5th round of the FA Youth Cup up for grabs here. Reading are waiting for the winner of this tie. And again, they're looking to make the breakthrough in from the left. This is Ndala. That's sloppy though, so maybe a chance here for the Irons just to do what Manchester City have done to them, striding forward. Scholes into Orford, just stepping in at the right moment there was Samuels, but they still have it. To West Ham, out to Adiela. Goes in 50-50 there with Okeke. Still going though, Adiela. This could be the moment. Pull back in towards Zumolu. And it's a smart save in there from True Grant. In truth, it was straight at him, but another good West Ham move. This time very much on the break. Good work from Adiela.
Again, good work from Emeka. And it fell to Jerry's left foot, and he's predominantly left-footed, so didn't really get great contact, did he?
Yeah, maybe a little bit on him quicker than he thought. In a flash, down the other end, Gollum Beckis, one of the many that you've talked about, really, the example of not switching off. All three of them at the back, especially centrally, Briggs, Mayers and Gollum Beckis.
Yeah, the concentration's been excellent. I think if you remember rightly, I think in the first 10 minutes I said I wouldn't mind us winning in the 89th minute. We nearly did. Jerry's let me down.
Jerry Omolu, the substitute, was let down Mark Phillips here, but
he hasn't at all. He hasn't at all, actually. He's going to score the winner in a minute, don't worry.
Yeah, well, one thing we know for sure is there will be some form of goals here tonight, because we may be in for penalty shootouts, but we're definitely in for extra time. Neither side can be separated here. So FA Youth Cup extra time action for you coming up very shortly. Few tired legs out there, but credit to both sides. We talked about concentration a lot. We talked about a resolute defence from Kevin Keen's side, and we talked about a very patient attacking threat from Manchester City.
That's exactly how we've seen it in the second half. I'm glad the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game we sort of got into, because there was a period of maybe 10 minutes we were just encamped in our own box, just defending, doing well and making blocks and tackles. The last couple of minutes we did have, Jerry had that chance and we was up there, Emeka cut inside with the shot, so we got ourselves back in the game. We have to have that belief we can go and hurt them as well. But just you can't just defend.
Yeah, it was only really, as you say there, towards the end, maybe in the final quarter of an hour, West Ham made the conscious decision just to drop off and try and make their way through to extra time. And make their way through to extra time they have. So a little bit of an on-field team talk, as we tend to see before extra time rather than in the dressing room, and we'll give you the chance to see those Finn Herrick saves, which he made in quick succession. There was a lucky rebound in there, it has to be said, as may as it was, it bounced off. This was the chance set up by Omolu. Just scuffs that a little bit, that one there, Mark.
Yes, it's Ollie, and it's on his favoured left foot as well, sort of thing. That again, if you look at Emeka, I'm thinking there. I'm thinking there as he's running towards the byline, the fellow he's beat, come and bring him down, take his legs away. We'll have a penalty. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, well, we saw that on a good few occasions tonight. Adiela looking great on his return to the starting 11, certainly from an FA Youth Cup point of view. He's been a live wire all evening on this near side.
I'd like to think now that all the backroom staff, the strength and conditioning, all the people, all the sports scientists come into their own, and really our players show some good fitness in the next 30 minutes. I mean, I'm not saying we looked tired, but we did look. They was encamped in our box for patient and good play. But maybe now we're going to have to really see, people, their fitness coming through. And I'd like to think class us definitely was this year, and I think we are this year. Now a fit team.
Yeah, good game management, you have to say, because that was always going to be the case. Like it's analysts looking at how City were going to set up, how they were going to try and break down West Ham, and they didn't concede. And now Kevin Keen has a slightly different team talk, because they've got half an hour of football to negotiate. It becomes trickier. We're talking about physical fatigue, we're talking about mental fatigue. That goes up a notch or two in extra time.
Without a shadow of a doubt, and goals give you energy. So if you was to be say we got our noses in front and we was winning 1-0, that would give you a little bit of energy, something to hang on to. And then obviously working the other way, if you go a goal down, you sap a little bit, sort of thing like. So while it's 0-0 in the game, if we can get one, just give us that little bit of energy. It really could. I mean, games like this are so important to the academy staff. All the academy staff will be here tonight cheering on the under-18s, because the Youth Cup, probably the biggest competition we play in. And you wouldn't believe the amount of academy staff it goes back in. People the administrators, Trevor and Liz, and people who work in the kitchen. They'll be here tonight. Everyone's involved in this, and it's really important to the academy.
Yeah, a good community feel here at the Rush Green Stadium. And a good amount of fans actually in at Rush Green today, considering there's a Premier League game on tonight as well. Good to see lots of local fans out in force.
And they've stayed even in the cold weather. It doesn't seem to be like the crowd's getting any lower, so they're still here. But
You can't go home in FA Youth Cup 4th round when extra time's on the hand, surely.
well, I can't go home. I'm actually working with you. But no, the crowd do seem to have stayed. Actually, they do seem to have stayed. I mean, it's quite exciting. Let's be fair. It's a good half hour football to come. It's interesting to see how it pans out.
Yeah, well, if you're just joining us, you might be interested to know how it could be enjoyed, but it has been a fascinating affair. Not too many chances, a couple of saves in the second half for Finn Herrick and a couple of miscued efforts from Heskey and the former West Ham United midfielder Musaka as well, who scooped his effort over. But other than that, it's been interesting to see how defensive discipline from West Ham United and the attack-minded Manchester City, as we see Dan Rigger replaced by Liam Jones.
Yeah, I mean, and Liam Jones, the one thing Liam Jones, he's got lots of things, but the one major asset he's got is lots of pace. Liam will look to run in beyond. He's a good finisher. He's a good finisher, Liam Jones. So that might be another string to our bow.
Well, there was plenty of energy about Rigger's game, so more of the same you would think from Liam Jones for this final half hour. Well, it's what will be demanded, I'm sure, by Kevin Keane alongside of Gary Molu now. Be interesting to see if he gets that far up. He's actually more defensive, isn't he, Liam Jones, the 18-year-old? Back underway here with Heskey. Gets it back now from right, and again we see the shape and formation of the Hammers. They've very rarely broken that, have they?
No, they really haven't. And Man City are looking for that time they do break it, then they'll pounce.
And that's what has been fascinating tonight, because they go again here. This now is the substitute Lawrence moving in from the left flank. Nodded clear again by Mayers and the impressive Adiela. Over now to Scholes, looking forward and long. Maybe in for Omolu, but that had to be plucked out of the sky by Simpson Pusi, who's barely put a foot wrong. Gets the applause from the home fans as well. And in the blink of an eye, down the other end, looking dangerous in towards Warhurst. Not just clear, but Golombekis is there again to help out. Rolled back there by Okeke. Well, more of the same here, really, in terms of how we left the end of the 90 minutes. But chance here, City giving it away. Orford looking left towards Scholes. Not quite accurate enough. Maybe a touch of fatigue about that ball across from Lewis Orford, but he gets back. Can he prevent the shot coming up? This is Lawrence now. Lawrence across, and it's off the bar. Well, I don't think anybody knew all that much about it. Penalty, says the referee. Well, that all happened very quickly. Lawrence in from the left, the ball was across. Rebound straight into the crossbar.
Did it come off our own player, the one that hit the bar?
Well,
Was it one of our
need the
players?
replay for that one, because Lawrence it was that played it across. It clatters off somebody into the bar, and then the referee gives the penalty. We'll get a better look at it here. Played across to Lawrence. So it goes. Mayers is in there, so too is Warhurst. They've come off kind of at the same time from Warhurst and Mayers. But then the decision, a little bit of confusion on that one, Mark.
Confusion? I'm going to use the word soft and harsh and leave it at that, I think.
Well, because of the pace of the passage of play, it was hard to see. We're all looking at the ball across as it's hitting into the crossbar and kind of rebounds off Warhurst and Mayers. And then there's the decision for the penalty. But he was quite confident about giving it, was the referee Shelby Elsom.
Yep, he was in no doubt. And he had, as I've said several times tonight, he had a better view than me, but I don't know if I agree with him.
And so it falls to Jacob Wright. Just over 3 minutes into extra time. Can he give Manchester City the lead? It will feel cruel if he can on West Ham. because for large parts tonight they've been switched on, they've been patient, they've been resolute. But here is Jacob Wright. Rolls it home confidently enough, and that's going to be hard to take for Kevin Keane's side, because they have worked tirelessly. There's a yellow card in there as well. The remonstrations from one of the West Ham players. City with the lead.
I think a yellow card for Lou Alford, the one he penalised for the tackle, actually. So Lou's obviously said something on his way through there. I mean, you can't argue with the penalty. It's a good penalty. Finn dives to there and he goes the other way. I still dispute the awarding of it, but there you go. It's up to us to show our character.
Favourite for Wunmi, just in conversation with the official on this near side. Just heard there that it was harsh from Favour for Wunmi's point of view. In truth, we couldn't even see the decision. It was, even after that replay that you've seen there.
I mean, we were still looking about how it came off the bar, really, and then all of a sudden it was. I just thought, really, he looked like to me that Lou got the wrong side of him and didn't make a tackle. He was the wrong side and just didn't make a tackle. I hope we keep our discipline and don't just like completely fall apart.
It looked as though it was Ezra Mayers who was in with the challenge on Warhurst, so it may well be that was what the decision was for. I mean, had the ball hit the back of the net, there would have been no penalty anyway, but there was a penalty and they have still hit the back of the net in the 95th minute. So we're going to try and clear that up for you as well. We'll have another look at that when we get a break in play. But here go Man City looking to double their lead late on. Lawrence, he was the one who really was at the heart of setting up the chaos in the West Ham box. And there could be more chaos here. This is in for Ndala. Skulls it is that's able to break out. All good work from Ollie Skulls. It was him that was trying to get his teammates going again after the penalty, because there is still plenty of time here to find a way back.
Without a doubt, it's 25 minutes. Definitely. Even just stay in the game, consolidate. Go on then.
It's now the far side is Liam Jones. Back to Molu. Can't miss him. Does well though, just to retain possession. Now maybe Skulls will send it into the box. Alford was there. Now they need to get back in position pronto. Warhurst, who was in the thick of everything that led to that penalty decision. And now a bit of space here for Lawrence to turn into. Right, that's Ndala there just turning. Still flying in, still committed though, a West Ham. And that's a good ball out from Alford towards Jones. Faced up by Okeke. Outside of the boot, infield to Skulls. Again, looking in towards the area. And he was caught late there. Spot a cramp as well for the goal scorer, Jacob Wright. Oh, and this could be nasty actually for Skulls. He looks to be in a fair bit of discomfort. Just caught late there. No real protests from Jacob Wright.
In all honesty, it was a ridiculous, needless challenge.
Well, Skulls it was. He's just looking into the area. Almost just shoulder checks him there. So he could have pulled out of that one, really. So here's the penalty decision again. Lawrence with the ball across. And here, this is it. That's the challenge on Heskey from Orford. And I don't think he was given the yellow card straight away, was Orford. The penalty was given. I think it was for the remonstrations afterwards that you can see here.
Yeah, I think the referee as the referee walks back to after the goal's been scored, I think Lou must have said so. But it looked like he was the wrong side and he didn't really make a challenge.
Goals in, away towards Ndala. Tracking him is the substitute, Favour for Wunmi. Skulls now is almost operating as a left wing back for the remainder of this one.
I'm pleased with our response from going a goal down. We haven't just sat on our laurels, we're still trying to go forward. Still asking questions.
Yeah, you beat me to it there, really, Mark. They're giving absolutely everything, our Kevin Keen's side, even after going a goal behind. If anything, they look more of a threat than they did before the goal, which you could understand after going a goal behind in the FA Youth Cup.
Correct.
Give and go looking there was Jethro Medine. This is now for Wunmi. Wunmi with the ball in. Back to goal, Molu. Trying to thread it through again. It's been decent hold-up play since Molu's been introduced. Chance not over just yet. Skulls into the area. Grant will get there first, and he'll take his time over this one, you'd imagine.
I wonder if we go into the second half of extra time, we might sacrifice one of the centre halves and make them step in a little bit forward. So obviously we'll be chasing the game.
Yeah, it's the same three at the back that started with Golombekis, Briggs, and of course Ezra Mayers. So it may be that one of those players is sacrificed. Oyebade and Akpata, the other two on the bench. Warhurst just dropping in deep there. And the press is still on from West Ham, and almost getting in there was Orford. Real good mindset and character. They may get caught out here though. This is Lawrence. He was the one who caused havoc earlier. Here he goes again. Looking in now towards Warhurst. Also up there was Obovodu. Now Ndala. Do not want to go a couple of goals behind here. They just stand firm in the way. Good work again from Orford. Especially after receiving that yellow, but that was a bit sloppy. Now, there's a bit of a chance on here. Lawrence is over on the left. This is the substitute Okeke, who's just moved over. Eski's made a move in the middle. Okeke once more. The ball in field from Stephen Mfuni. And just another rather clumsy challenge there, in truth.
They're obviously going to take their time now, and you can't blame them, really.
Favour for Wunmi, it was. He was just a bit too heavy-handed there on Charlie Gray. Charlie Gray it was, you may have just seen there, who's come on for Jacob Wright, the scorer of the only goal so far tonight. This is where it becomes trickier, just to try and rev yourself up again from a West Ham point of view.
In all fairness, I haven't seen our heads drop. We have gone a goal down. We've stayed in it. I mean, obviously a second goal would hurt us dramatically.
Yeah, that's the dilemma at the moment, because Man City can pick you off, but at 1-0, West Ham certainly in with a sniff here. This is Mufuni. Now into Simpson Pusi, goes back to Grant. For the first time really has afforded enough time to come outside of his area. Grant, closing him down there was Jones. Eski now bombing forward. To his left is Lawrence. Just checks in field. Starting to wear down West Ham United ever so slightly. Keep ball very much the mantra for the time being. Samuel completes the switch over to Okeke. Out in his more familiar position since coming on. Good harrying there though from Mayers once more up against Obovoduo. So just a few minutes left until the end of this first half of extra time. West Ham with a little bit of a mountain to climb, it must be said. Seconds starting to tick away a bit quicker now. Ben Wilkinson, the Manchester City coach, it will feel a lot longer as Obovoduo makes a bit of a mess of that. West Ham throw. Well, they certainly got the attacking options on the pitch now, which is good. Umolu, Jones as well is also getting involved on the far side. Favour for Wunmi, of course. Maybe he can be the hero again to draw the Hammers level.
And all three of them scored on Saturday against Palace when they come on the subs. We need is two of them tonight at the three, and that'll do us.
The goal-scoring prowess certainly on the pitch. They open the scoring for the Hammers. This now is the substitute, Charlie Gray. Bit of space here, just backing off ever so slightly. Looped into the path of Ward-Prowse on the strike, and it's two. And that may well be the end of Kevin Keen's FA Youth Cup adventure for the 23-24 season. We said it earlier, a second goal now and it could be curtains. Just before the end of the first half of extra time, West Ham United 0, Manchester City 2.
I think the ball for the goal was excellent. The final pass that just he took the lad well at the near post, but that pass there, excellent. Quite wide actually.
Delicate ball over the top, and then it's an emphatic finish from Ward-Prowse.
Yeah,
he's plugged away all evening, and he took his chance really well. That's what Manchester City have been waiting for. That's what they've been patient with. There we see the Okeke scoop, and there we see the thunderous finish from Ward-Prowse.
Yeah, as I say, I do admire the pass before the goal. The pass made the goal for me. The lad hit it well, but it was a great pass. Fantastic.
Well, they could be proud of themselves, the West Ham players, because even after going a goal behind in extra time, they did not throw in the towel. I don't envisage that they'll throw in the towel for the final 15 minutes in the second half of extra time. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, with an early goal at the start of that second half of extra time, maybe then the momentum will go in their favour.
Yeah, you don't know. What one leads to two. I just saw Kevin over there clapping, and he's going to keep him. Kevin Keane and Lois wouldn't allow him to throw the towel in. They wouldn't have it, and nor would I if I was over there either.
Yeah, well, we've just seen the added on time as well of 3 minutes, which is quite lengthy for just a 15-minute half. So a little bit of time here maybe if they can just retrieve the ball, as we see Matty Warhurst replaced by Kian Noble. So a slightly more defence-minded move, understandably, from Ben Wilkinson. As you can see, Kevin Keane potentially not happy with how slowly the Manchester City players were getting the play restarted. So these are an important couple of minutes from Kevin Keane's point of view. If they could find one now, that really changes things, but well, if they concede another, then it really is game over. Flooding forward here again, Man City, to put the gloss on, perhaps. In it goes, Herrick with a good save. Lawrence on the follow-up, double save in there from Herrick. Well, he's been called up on a few times. He's had to keep concentrating as well. And that is a spectacular double save from Finn Herrick.
Excellent, really, really well done. I know Finn, as I know him, he'll probably be quite disappointed with their second goal at the near post, beating him in there. He's just, if he had to make amends, he's just done it there twice. A fantastic thing.
He certainly has, Finn Herrick. Well, it was smashed past him for Manchester City second, but here more than redeems himself. Good save down low to his right, and you think for all the world that Emilio Lawrence is going to knock that in, but that's a cracking save with his legs.
Yeah, fantastic. As I say, he's probably feeling down that we've just gone 2-0 down. He's kept his concentration and made two good saves. I mean, the angle me and you were standing at, the second one, we're both thinking goal, really, to be honest, but no, he's done well there. Done very well.
So now, what do you think? Kevin Keane just saying you've got, well, really nothing to lose because you're 2 goals down. You've got to just fly forward, really, now, right?
Yeah, I mean, as I was saying earlier, I wonder if he would change the shape and make the back three into a back two and just push someone further on. I don't know the way Kev's thinking. I don't work with the 18s all the time now like I used to. But they can, whatever the outcome in the next 15 minutes, they can be really proud of themselves. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Manchester City go on and win this competition. Yeah,
we mentioned that before a ball was kicked, really, in anger, as we see the decision that led to the penalty? Well, it's hard to see any contact there. Heskey is in full flow, so he kind of maybe can see that Orford is closing in on him and just rides the challenge, but I'm not sure there's any contact. And then Wright it is who steps up to roll it home into the bottom left corner.
I mean, I'm going to talk about back in my day, which is a long time ago because I'm 62 years of age, but there used to be, you had to have intent for it to be a penalty. There was no intent there whatsoever, but there might have been a very, very small amount of contact, very small.
Yeah, and at full pace as well, the way it happened, the way Heskey went in, it's almost like now a lot of these players are taught to, you know, hit the deck in a certain way or go at things, and if you feel something, just use gravity to go down.
Yeah, if there's any sort of touch and you're in and around the box, we're in here.
Here we go though, chance early in the beginning of this second half of extra time, stamped on by the City defence. Well, we talked about it just now. They've got to give it everything now. They need a goal in the next few minutes to have any chance of finding a way back into this one. Really good work from Fava Forwardme.
I'm impressed. We come out and we're giving it a go. We're not just lying down, which as I say, that's what we're about, West Ham. We always have a go.
Needs a decent delivery here. Towards the front post. Barely gets past that front post, straight out for the goal kick. That's a bit of a disappointment after the pulsating start to this final action of the evening, beginning of the second half of extra time.
I think our goalkeeper Finn said it there, shouting from the side of me, got to get past the front post. But there is going to be gaps. People are tired, but just got to keep some belief.
Yeah, talked about pride, and they certainly can be, this West Ham side, the reigning champs. But their reign may soon be coming to an end for this season. And to their credit, they're still plugging away, looking for a way back into this game. One goal, and all of a sudden, City do what West Ham were doing right at the end of normal time and bedding in. You just never know. This is Golan Beckis. Wide it goes out to that far side, the substitute. Back in now towards Briggs, Mayers. Talk about the shape there. It does look as though it's now just two central defenders and Mayers maybe just sticking out on this near side, the left.
Yeah, I can see why we've done that, just to get extra bodies forward. And, you know, you've got to have a gamble sometimes in football. You've got to risk and reward, isn't it?
Did he find a clearance only as far as Scarles? This now is Adiello, who's moved a bit more centrally in that kind of inverted role. Picks it up again here. So many white shirts around him. Of course, they're going to keep everything behind the ball. Scarles looking for an option. Good work initially there from Medine, just to try and press in field. Ndala wriggles away from a couple of challenges and then finds a ball into Heskey, who just draws the foul.
It's times like this when you know, let's not forget they're under 16s, they're under 17s, they're under 18s. It's a learning, and we've got to learn about these players for future occasions for West Ham, obviously. And you see, are they just going to swallow it? Are they going to keep going? They've kept going. To be fair, they have kept going.
Bob Duo, score of Manchester City's second. And yet the season doesn't end here, so there's more to play for Kevin Keane's side. Under 18 Premier League South, which they were at one stage today top of, but the Spurs result earlier has meant that they've just dropped into second, but they've got that game in hand.
You're full of good news, you are, aren't you? No, I'm only joking. They're also in the under 18s Premier Cup, where they're playing away. Guess who? Manchester City.
Yeah, and so they will renew acquaintances again at least one more time this season. And last season, they were to be denied in the national final. The winners of the Under-18 Premier League North were Manchester City. The winners of the Under-18 Premier League South, no prizes for guessing. The Irons lost out in the national final. So all good occasions, all good experience, and no doubt Kevin Keane at the end of this one will be telling them just that. You know, he can be so proud. They've given everything, everything that's been thrown at them. Every player has really given everything they can.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. And you can see yourselves, City are a good side. They move the ball well.
And they may well add the cherry on top. Ward-Prowse on the angle, but another really impressive save from Finn Herrick. He hasn't switched off either. And look, he's looking to get the play underway as quickly as possible.
Finn Herrick's a good goalkeeper, make no bones about that, and that's why he plays for England. Finn's a quality class goalkeeper.
Yeah, you were giving me the stats as well earlier. First West Ham United player to represent England at an under-17 World Cup. The goalkeeper, and we can see why. Stupendous performance, and he's really kept the scoreline down, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's done very well. He's done very well, very well.
This is the substitute Kian Noble, and it does have that feel now of a training ground regime, as Heskey off the ball was just on all fours for a moment there, maybe pulled up with a slight bit of cramp. Understandable, given at 110 minutes.
He came in after half time. Heskey came into the game and started knitting things together, started being the link player.
There may well be more here for Manchester City. Breaking on that far side. Lawrence. Still going. Nice work though from Fawunmi. Hasn't felt sorry for himself. Does really well here. Owen just wasn't on the same wavelength there as Liam Jones. Was just waiting for it a little bit more there, Jones. But Fawunmi, good effort, and they have it back. On his bike now is Jones. Time starting to run out. Just over 8 minutes of the 120 to go. Here we see the Ward-Prowse effort at Herrick. Really smart goalkeeping there. Gets both hands on it, everything behind it.
I like the way he's trying to get us on straight on the attack the minute he's saved it. It was a good positive attitude. I'm pleased with us since we've gone 2 down, actually. I think we could have thrown the towel in. We haven't done that. Constantly, as I say, if you say 7, 8 minutes to go, you get one, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, well, it's science really that physically they're going to be fatigued, but mentally they have never thrown in the towel here tonight. Act away. Again, you just never know if West Ham can nick one. They might be in, but they've got a man over here in Ward-Prowse. He's already got one tonight. Chance to seal it. Slight nudge from Golan Beckis as he goes through. It's actually really good defending from Golan Beckis because it's fair, it's shoulder to shoulder, and it puts Ward-Prowse out.
I couldn't put it better myself. Excellent defending. But most defenders there would have committed themselves. He didn't, stood his ground. It was good play from the young lad.
Really good strength from the Lithuania under-16 player. Now it's the number 16 substitute, Gary Umolo. Another physical presence. Now then, Fawunmi. Maybe he can get a shot off, dipping, but over.
Great run though, with intent. We keep staying, keep battering on about. We haven't given it up. Even there, last ditch defending. If we was to give it up, he would have had an easy run at goal. You haven't seen one of your phantom deflections there, have you?
You knew exactly what I was looking for, staring at our monitor that we've got in front of us. I was just seeing, because of the way the ball looped up from favour for Wunmi's strike, but I stayed silent while you were giving us the superb analysis there, Mark. Here come West Ham again. Scholes was interested for a moment, but nipping in there, Man City, and they fancy finishing this off on the break every time they go forward. A bit short at the back. Ward-Prowse just asking to calm things down there is the substitute Noble. Now, Ngala. Ngala does well, and again, they're just seeing this one out now professionally. Heskey moving backwards. Spreading the play out to Gray once more. Give and go with Ward-Prowse. One more save for Herrick to make. Another one.
He's made a few.
That's more than a handful of saves this evening. More than half a dozen probably as well. And as we said earlier, but for Finn Herrick, especially at the end here, not to take too much away from the way that West Ham have defended, but he has kept this scoreline down with just over 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, where we've had to open out as we're not looking to equalise. Obviously, we've left gaps in behind us, but Finn's done very well. He's done really well, keeping it still at 2.
Yeah, inevitable that the gaps would open up, and had a goal gone in maybe in the last few minutes, may have been a real chance of nicking something late on, but with every second that ticks away, we inch closer to the end of Kevin Keen's FA Youth Cup campaign for this season. Well, that was a rather lazy challenge from, I think it was Okeke there, bringing down Giles. Here is Skulls again, looking for the diagonal. Good work in there from Jones, seems to be popping up everywhere at the moment. Ball sent towards Orford at the back post, and it was awkward for the Man City defenders. This is Noble hitting it long. Mayers scurries across to win it back. Well, the ball from Fawunmi is just over the head of Orford. Again, still more good moves forward from West Ham.
That would have made it interesting with 5 minutes to go, to say the least, wouldn't it?
I mean, it would have made it interesting, but equally, they just want to show what they're made of here and try and get past True Grant.
Yeah.
Because 2-1 will sound a lot better than 2-0, even if they go out. And that's what they've had in their minds. It's not just about, you know, we can get back in it and we can maybe find another. It's about, we've played well enough to get a goal here tonight.
Totally agree, yeah, totally agree. But I am 100% biased towards West Ham, as I said earlier. But no, I think I'm really impressed with their attitude after going 2 goals down. They really keep asking the question. We're probing up the pitch. Going to leave gaps at the back, obviously.
Yeah, you said it earlier. They've reacted competently to both goals. You know, showed signs of maturity beyond their years of Kevin Keen's young side, and yet they continue to try and find a way through. Look at Molu just dropping in there to pull the strings as well. That was good work. Now for Wunmi once more. Maybe, just maybe, they can find a way back. Is the substitute out to Adiela? Understandably gone a bit quieter, but Mayers is up there to help. Driven towards the back post, headed straight at goal. Bounced straight back.
What a fantastic cross from Ollie Scholes. Fantastic ball.
Perfect weighting on it from Scholes. And they get the attempt at goal, but they can't find a way into the back of that Manchester City net. They certainly deserve to, so we've got 2.5 minutes for them to try and do it. They go again here. Orford it was making the run. Also closing in there was Jones. Hugely impressive from Kevin Keen's side. But wouldn't we now? Just looking to arrow away from Emilio Lawrence. Well, that's a good turn away. Molu again, staying a bit deeper. Mayers. Orford. Smart turn from Adiela. Layoff is just behind Jones. Skulls is there as well. Building up a head of steam here, Mayers. Laid off for Skulls. Towards the back post, headed back across and just over. Well, they've created more chances in the last 5 minutes, almost than they have in the whole game.
Without a doubt, you know, the time's running out. We just, you know, we're risking, but we really have taken, you know, created some good chances. I don't know whether City is just sitting back as well and bringing us on, but you know, you can only applaud our team for the effort and commitment in the last sort of 10 minutes, if you like. Really have had a go.
Now, kudos to both sets of players because they've given everything tonight, and it's made for a decent tie. Unfortunately, from a Hammers point of view, not to be, it looks like. Reading it will be for Ben Wilkinson's side in the 5th round. Good work getting stuck in there from Jethro Medine. Wins the free kick as well. Doesn't want to let things boil over here, especially after the way this has been played. It's been played in a decent spirit, and the referee does a good job there actually to make sure that frustrations don't boil over. Molu maybe should have had a free kick there. Oh, and it could be in here again. Offside flag is up. And again, that would have been more cruelty against Kevin Keen's side had that offside flag not have gone up. Okeke's just gone down. Again, you have to presume it's cramped. So too is Golan Bekis. Talk about giving it everything, putting a shift in. All of the players that we've seen tonight I haven't seen anybody really on an off day.
No, everyone's, you know, it is a big occasion in youth football, and they've had, I think it was a free kick before that actually. He's only about 2 yards offside. But
the official had a good view of it on this near side.
There's no need to draw any lines and get all that nonsense going on. The fella's offside.
Just in case you're wondering, no VAR here at the Rush Green Stadium.
Thank God. No, I can't say that.
Who knows what the future holds? As we say though, Under-18 Premier League South work to deal with, and the Under-18 Premier League Cup as well that we were talking about. So they need not be too disheartened, and they certainly shouldn't be. Here they go again. But Wunmi, since coming on, he went a little bit quieter when he was initially introduced, but he's been at the heart of everything good driving forward as the
He really
last
has,
few bits have gone.
in the second period of extra time, a lot's gone through favour, hasn't it? He's been a threat down that right-hand side. I really hope we don't lose our discipline at the end when the final whistle goes. You know, you've got to win well and take defeat on the chin well as well.
Yeah, because for 99.9% of this game, there's been no silly stuff.
Nope.
It's all been played in the right spirit of the game. So as you say, we don't want to see anything like that at the full-time whistle, which we are fast approaching here. Spirited effort from the West Ham United Under-18s.
Has the ball gone up yet? I haven't seen the ball.
We are into added on time.
Seen it.
Eski it was just jostling with Golan Bekis, and also over there maybe for Wunmi as well, and the other substitutes getting involved. Look at Finn Herrick though, he wants to take this, he wants to send everybody up. Like we say, minimal chance of getting anything from this, but they would desperately love a goal now. Gets a good connection on it. Will it fall to somebody in claret and blue? It won't, and the small amount of cheers you can hear are from the Manchester City contingent. Ben Wilkinson and Kevin Keen shake hands, and it does look as though all the players will shake each other's hand. Been played in the right way. West Ham went from minute 0 to minute 120 and came very close. Finn Herrick made some great saves, but West Ham posed a threat as well. Lewis Orford and Skulls trying to just thread a few things together, some decent deliveries, a few efforts at goal, but it wasn't to be tonight, Mark.
No, it wasn't. Again, I don't want to keep going on about the same old, but we did show a great attitude, even to being awarded a soft penalty against us. We didn't completely lose the plot, kept going, and then after the second, we had a good few chances after being at 2-0, at least to make it back to 2-1, or even get that one earlier on. We could have maybe got the draw and maybe taken it to the penalties. I must say, I would pick out Manchester City's number 3. I could say his name would be Andy, but he's
Simpson Pucci.
I think he's excellent. I think he's taken up. I didn't know the fella before today. I think he's got the potential to go on. You said he's an England international, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Simpson Pucci, England Under-18, and you can see he's one of the senior members by the way he was playing. He's largely been used in the Premier League 2 this season.
Yeah, and I'd ask everyone to keep an eye on his career, because I think he's a very, very good player. I think he was probably the best, no, not probably, he was the best player on the pitch.
Yeah, a special prospect, but there are a number of special prospects out there. We saw so many substitutes come on for West Ham, and they all did well, they all contributed. We saw the imposing Jerry Amolu, we saw Fava Fawunmi, who we were just lamenting or talking so highly of as well. Jethro Medine as well was doing well, and we'll get a chance to look at some of the best highlights from this one. This is the penalty. Jacob Wright It wasn't given for anything until that moment there when Orford goes in on Heskey.
Again, it may have been a touch, but it's very, very harsh. No argument with the penalty. It's a well tucked away penalty, but the decision is very soft in my eyes. I'd like to also mention, I thought Emeka Adili was excellent at left wing back. You know, Aridus again is an under 16 playing up. There's lots to take from the game from our point of view. It really is.
Yeah, and that penalty was in the first half of added on time. This is the second goal. Obovwoduo with a clinical strike. Seyfin Herrick might not be too pleased with that, but he's absolutely fizzed it past him.
He has actually fizzed it, but I wonder if Finn is trying to anticipate the cross there and left the gap. But he's got nothing to feel bad about. Finn. He's made some excellent saves, to counter that, and it was, a class pass that created that. It was a fantastic ball from the first.
Yeah, delicate scooped pass there into the path of Obovwoduo, and he made absolutely no mistake on the angle, just concentrated on the finish. So there we go then, a more than spirited effort, plenty of character and maturity from Kevin Keane's side. Their season continues in the Under-18 Premier League South and the Under-18 Premier League Cup, but here at the Rush Green Stadium in the FA Youth Cup 4th round, it's finished West Ham United 0, Manchester City 2 on West Ham United TV. Do join us next time.
Staff game this morning. I'm only taking it because the kit man's my mate.